I think it's just kind of a special aura of coming into this stadium.
In baseball, there is Wrigley. The NFL, Lambeau. In local high school football, there is the Brickyard.
You don't see many stadiums like this right downtown anymore.
Like the rings of a tree, each brick has seen generations of history, champions, and legends.
I hope that people continue to have an appreciation for the history here and the great things that have been done here.
Tonight, the Brickyard plays host to the latest on its long list of big games.
Boy, when it gets loud in there, it's really, really a great place to play.
It's Burke County. It's Thompson at the Brickyard.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's, I'm loving it, and by Stars and Strikes, get away and play. And now your host, Ashley Brown and John Hartz.
Luther Welsh Field at the Brickyard in historic Thomson, Georgia, where tonight it is week 11 of WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Tonight, one of the biggest rivalries in our area is renewed as the Burke County Bears come to Thompson to take on the Thompson Bulldogs. Good evening to you again, everybody. John Hart, joined as always by Ashley Brown and AB. Not only is this a huge rivalry game we will see tonight, this game has huge postseason implications for both teams.
Oh, no doubt about it. For Burke County, they've got a chance to lock up home field advantage in the second seed in the region with a victory tonight on the road. They'll do it, though, a little bit undermanned. We'll talk about that later. And then we've got Thompson, of course, coming in trying to lock up a playoff spot with a win. The keys to the game from Ford, they got to forget last week, do the Burke County Bears. They got thumped 30-7 on the road against Baldwin. Again, they were a little undermanned there, but a tough game last week. And then they've got to make somebody other than Demetrius Taylor beat them, especially with his feet, make Thompson either throw the ball or make somebody else run it on him, not Demetrius Taylor, the star quarterback. Keys to the game for Thompson, get off to a fast start here. Homecoming crowd, they always seem to play well at the Brickyard. They've got to do that tonight. And they've got to crowd the box similar to what Burke County's got to do and force the Bears to throw it. Eric Parker loves to run the football. They very rarely throw. And Thompson's got to make them do that tonight. Whoever wins up front the line of scrimmage is probably going to come away the victor in this one.
Burke County leads the all-time series 18-16. These two teams first met way back in 1987. This season, Burke County sitting 6-3 overall, 2-1 in the region. Thompson 3-5 overall, 1-1 in the region. So right now, the Bears, as AB alluded to, have the second seed if the playoffs started tonight in the region. Thompson in the 3 seed. If Burke County wins tonight, the Bears would clinch at least one home playoff game in the Bear Den next month. Burke County has a bye next week. Baldwin has already clinched the region championship, so you have Burke County sitting in the 2nd spot. Yep. Thompson currently occupying the 3rd spot, trying to move up tonight, and ARC in the 4th spot right tonight. Richmond Academy is... Where's Richmond Academy tonight?
They've got Cross Creek.
Cross Creek. So the Musketeers trying to hang on to the number 4 seed and get into the playoffs. AB mentioned it is homecoming here tonight, and because of the pregame festivities, they're running a little bit behind on the field. Looks like we're almost ready for the coin toss. One thing we've noticed that schools are doing this year is they're doing a lot of homecoming festivities before the game, introducing the court and whatnot, and then they simply announce the winners at halftime, which will keep halftime a little shorter, but it's making us a little late getting going here.
Yeah, I do. I like this new tradition, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Shorter halftimes are always fine with us. The third member of our broadcast crew, as always, is Matt Lane. He will be bringing us our Augusta Auto Auction sideline reports tonight. And he is down on the field for the coin toss. Our lead official, our referee tonight, is Mark Attaway, and the players are now meeting at midfield. The captains down to the field.
Going in, shaking hands. Introduce yourselves. Is this microphone in on?
Extra mic for the players.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys. Y'all got any questions tonight? Who's going to call my coin? 38, you're going to call it? Look at here. That National Guard guy's a head, and the flag tonight is going to be a tail, okay? That's a tail. The National Guard guy's a head. What do you call it? Heads. If I drop it, I'm going to flip it again, okay? Heads is a call. And he came up ahead. You want to choose now and you want the ball, okay? Which goal do y'all want? You want to defend that goal, so you're kicking this way? Okay, turn your back to your goal. Burke County, you're over here. They won the toss, and they'll get it on this end right here. Whoa, don't go too far. Y'all went a long way. Go kick it this way. Let's have a great night, okay? Here we go. We're done. We're done.
All right, so Burke County has won the toss, and the Bears will receive the opening kickoff as the Bulldogs take the field. Kickoff is next on Game Night Live. It is a cool and damp night here at the Brickyard. If you are watching within the CSRA, you know it has been a rainy day. It is going to be a wet and sloppy track for these two teams tonight, though not as sloppy as you might think down on the field before the game. The turf is actually holding up fairly well, but it is wet.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest facilities in the area. I've always said if I had to pick one, like, atmosphere for a high school game, it doesn't get any better than the Brickyard. And not only is the atmosphere in the stands good and all that, but of course they take care of all the facilities, including the field. So, yeah, they've got it in pristine shape for tonight's matchup. And this is a big one. It's always traditionally one of the biggest games in the area. I heard John Barnett, the longtime defensive coordinator here at Thompson and author of Ghosts of the Brickyard, say in a pregame radio show earlier today that this is a rivalry game, but it's a little different. A lot of rivalry games, there's hatred and all that. With this one, there's a lot of mutual respect between the coaches and players, and I think we'll see that tonight.
And we are off, and it is taken by Jalen Simon for Burke County. And he's got room up to the 40-yard line. The Bears will have good field position to begin tonight.
Yeah, nice tackle there. I believe it was number 9 who got in to make the tackle for the Bulldogs, Jamon Fanning.
So we'll get our first look at this Burke County offense, averaging 31 points a game, but held to just 7 by Baldwin last week. And at least initially here tonight, will be missing one of its weapons in the starting lineup.
Well, yeah, it looks like Leon McGee's out of the starting lineup. Their star running back, Junior Dove, their quarterback, can run. And also we'll see Ronnie Stone and Simon, who just ran that kick in the backfield, although Thompson ready on the very first play.
And a big man right there to answer the bell. And that was
93, I believe, which is
Tobias
Jones,
who leads the Bulldogs in tackles for loss this year and just got another one, dropping him for a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
He is just a beast. We saw Jeremiah Williams the last 2 weeks. Jones is a defensive tackle in that vein. Very hard to deal with up front.
Dove, the quarterback, he will run the option and keep across the 40 to the 45. Dove, very dangerous with his legs. 489 rushing yards this year. He averages 6 per carry. He picked up about 5 there, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Thompson lost their first 2 games this season to Benedictine and Ware County, a pair of ranked teams. They lost both of those games by 1 point each, one in overtime. Then they reeled off 6 straight wins before last week's loss to Baldwin.
This is going to be a Bears first down into Thompson territory out at the 40-yard line. And that was Devin Wilson, a senior receiver.
Yeah, they're going to have kind of a running back by committee unless McGee is able to go tonight. He's their workhorse. They're also going to be without, and we'll talk about that more when they're on defense, but their star defensive player, and who also plays on offense, Chad Crumley, is out tonight for sure. He will not play, and that will have a big effect on this game in dealing with quarterback Demetrius Taylor when the Bears are on
Ball is on the ground. This is going to be Thompson football. Going the other way is Skylar Lewis. Huge play. Thompson strikes first down Bulldog.
Well, we said handle the game early, and the Bears, or Thompson, strike quick, and they've done that with the turnover. Thompson with great field position to start things off on offense, and they're coming off maybe their best offensive game. It was against Cross Creek, but last week, Demetrius Taylor, 223 yards rushing, 115 passing. They had almost 500 combined yards of offense, and Coach Youngblood was really happy. He said there was still stuff to work on, but they were showing some signs of life in that offense that we saw struggle a little bit earlier this year when we had them against North Augusta.
So it'll be the Bulldogs 1st and 10 from the Burke County 41-yard line. And Thompson, of course, led by the senior quarterback, Demekus Taylor. And much has been written about him playing his first 2 years here, transferring to Evans, then transferring back, now throwing, and incomplete at the 11. He's looking for Tamarin Martin.
Now, they had a weird formation there. They had one of the linemen lined up out wide to the right.
One of the subplots to this game, of course, the first-year Thompson head coach Michael Youngblood, a Waynesboro native, a Burke County grad, and a former assistant at Burke County under current Bears head coach Eric Parker. In fact, he won a state championship with the Bears under Parker as the defensive coordinator back in 2011. Taylor keeps, and he'll pick up 4 or 5 tough yards up to about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Youngblood was a great player himself, went on to a standout college career at Georgia Southern, and he was really a guy that could do everything. He didn't really have a set position, but you could really stick him anywhere on the field, and he would make something happen. Outstanding defensive player especially, but even on offense that year back then, he was so good for Burke County on that great deep playoff run they made.
Went on to Georgia Southern, won 2 national championships there with the Eagles.
And of course, they picked up a big win last night, knocking off number 25 App State by 20, with only attempting 1 pass in the game.
If the Eagles aren't ranked,
yeah,
the ball is loose again. We told you, folks, it is wet, and the ball is slippery early, and Demekus Taylor is going to be dropped for a loss of 13 all the way back to midfield. Big play on 3rd down for this Bears defense.
Well, what the Bears want to do is keep him in the pocket, make him throw the football. That's the way they're going to do it, or at least get him thrown on the run. But you do not want to let him run those receivers deep and run that football, because he will make you pay for that. Last year at Evans, of course, that's where Demekus was, 44 offensive touchdowns, either throwing or running. He was the area's player of the year in almost every poll.
They're going to fake it. Taylor is also the punter, and this one will be incomplete. Aggressive call by Michael Youngblood early, but the Bears hold and will take over on downs.
Yeah, you're right, aggressive call. That spot of the field, you can try that, but now you're giving the Bears a short field to work with. Gutsy call, doesn't work out. That's one of those calls, though, if it makes it, you're a genius. If it doesn't, oh, what a crazy call. But I like the aggression.
Yeah, I like the call
I love
early.
the aggression, yeah.
So it'll be Burke County football at their own 45, 9-12 to go in the first quarter. Wanye Dove will keep through the middle, and he'll pick up 4, and that's about what he's averaging per carry. We'll give him 3 on the carry. Call it 2nd and 7.
So Thompson's defense shows the coach that, and McGee is in there, by the way.
Yeah, first time we've seen McGee, but it is Dove on the keeper for a 1st down and then some up to the 41-yard line.
Well, if you watch on that replay, the outside guys for Thompson went out with McGee. So even if he doesn't run it, he affects the game because you're worried about him once he gets in there. Leon McGee, number 36, if you watch on the replay, you'll see the outside guys for Thompson as McGee rolled out. You watch McGee coming in motion there. Now watch the outside Thompson defenders. They go with McGee, and that left the running room for Dove.
And here's another big play. It is Dove again down to the 31-yard line as we come out of the Stars and Strikes replay. Our apologies there. But a pickup of 9 more for the Bears, and they are in business driving at the Thompson 31. Well, McGee is the leading rusher for Burke County. If he is not a factor tonight, it would be a big deal. 722 yards on the ground. This is Dove again, and he's ahead to the 25-yard line.
A little surprised he didn't pitch that at the end of the play to McGee, who he had out there on the outside.
That'll move the chains. Another 1st down for the Bears.
And I'm sure that's what Dove's thinking. Hey, I'm going to get the 1st down here. McGee Really talented kid. He's only a junior, and again, banged up. Didn't know if he'd play today. They said he probably would, but he wasn't in the starting lineup. There he is running the ball off the right tackle.
So the first carry for McGee tonight.
Of all the great players that Eric Parker has had here at Burke County, he's never done this before. He sent me video of this kid when he was a freshman and said, I got a special one here. And he's never done that with any other player, not Gator Green or Donquell, of course, Green, all the great players he's had, but he did it with this young man, Leon McGee.
From the 20, McGee again, not much this time, pushes ahead for a couple.
Well, what Thompson doesn't have this year, Shariah Jones, a very good defensive player, but what they've always had on their good, the Thompson really good years where they've had a deep playoff run or whatever, they've always had defensive playmakers. Now, obviously, Christian Tuttinger, Corey Crawford in the secondary in recent years. Go back to the days of Casper and Jasper Brinkley. Before that, Danny Verdun Wheeler and Deion Palmer. They've always had guys that could make plays, and they haven't had that so far this year.
3rd and 3, Dove straight ahead, and it's going to be close. I believe it's a little bit short. And this will be an early Ken Nugent one call. That's all moment for Eric Parker, the Bears head coach. I think they're going to be about a half-yard short on 4th down.
I think you go for it where you're at on the field for sure.
I would totally agree.
See what they decide to run, though, because he's got Dove in the backfield by himself. He's got an upright back as a blocker. Looks like a lineman just in the backfield.
They need an inch. Dove will try to get it. Being shoved back. Depend on the spot, he got it. It's 1st down. He got a really good spot.
Yeah, they gave him forward progress, and he got it. A little bit hesitant was Dove there. And look, these guys are great athletes. They know what they're doing. But I'm sitting here and I'm tense almost going, why did he just run? But you see he's got the big guy in the backfield to block for him. He doesn't really follow him. He sees a little crease there on the outside and goes, and he's able to get the 1st down.
Needed a half yard, got a full yard. 1st and 10 from the 14. The Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance 1st down for the Bears. And up the middle to about the 11. Pick up of 3 more.
Wanye Dove, quick quarterback. You know he has talent when last year he got playing time at quarterback when they already had 2 very, very good quarterbacks who rotated in and out. Dove was still able to get some snaps in games last year, so that lets you know he's got some talent.
Bears going quick here, and this is McGee inside the 10.
McGee's got a little bit of LaShawn McCoy in him in the box. He's able, in those little small areas, to just move his body just right to either get through a crease or make somebody miss. There he picks up decent yardage across up the middle. Knocking on the door here are the Bears.
Need to get to the Thompson 4-yard line for a 1st down. A 9 for a touchdown. Dove will keep. He has the 1st down. There's a flag down. He has the touchdown, I believe.
May have been a face mask. Not
Let's
really
check the
sure.
call.
It was an odd place where it's thrown because I didn't see a blocker in front of him for a hold. The Thompson players are upset. It is on Burke County. Wow.
Yeah, Burke County didn't like it. And the Bears will back up, so wipe off the touchdown.
Well, the officials were right there on top of it. So that is a big break for Thompson.
Against Burke County, we'll replay 3rd down.
Dove made a couple of guys miss and then drug one into the end zone for the touchdown. But it does back them up there.
So a 3rd and 13 now instead of 3rd and 5. Ball back at the 11. Or yeah, I should say the 16. And nothing doing there.
Yeah, good job getting in there. Number 13 for the Bulldogs, Antonio Kendrick. He got in there and made the play because Dove had a little bit of running room there.
Picked up 2. It'll be 4th and 9, a long 9 at that, from the 13-yard line.
And they are lined up to go for it.
Go for it again. Eric Parker, who we saw in this game last year, is not afraid to go for it on 4th down on any part of the field. Is going to do it here, and Dove fires over the middle. Touchdown, flag down.
I think that's going to be pass interference on the defense, and he still was able to catch the football.
It was Jalen Simon. That is Dove's favorite target. It would be his 2nd touchdown catch of the year, but let's catch the call.
I think it's going to be on Thompson.
Bears think the same thing.
It's on the defense.
And it is. Touchdown, Burke County.
Man, that's a laser of a throw from Wanye Dove and a great catch by Simon in
It's
traffic.
a pass interference.
Watch again on the replay.
Scoring play. That penalty be enforced on the kickoff.
This is the run beforehand that set it up. He was able to pick up about 4 or 5 there. So they're on to kick the extra points. Number 12, that's Jacob Hickman.
Yeah, he's 18 out of 24 on PATs this year.
18 out of 24 will top some NFL guys this year. Boy,
You
it's
got
been
that
going. When you got some of the best kickers of all time missing extra points with the game on the line, it's been a weird year for kicks.
Wasn't that
in the
strange?
league. Yeah.
Justin Tucker had never missed an extra point in his life, and he missed one that could have tied the game against the Saints. Of course, it had to be the Saints, right?
Well, as a Steeler fan, I was not upset by that.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. Game Night Live, 7-0. Burke County strikes first. Burke County went 55 yards in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plays in 5 minutes and 6 seconds. There was a penalty on the extra point, so Bears kicking off from the 35-yard line, and it'll go through the end zone. Thompson will take over.
Nathan had a good point there. You're kicking off from your opponent's 45. Why not onside kick it there? Wow.
Not a bad idea.
Eric Parker content to start Thompson's offense at the 20 and make him go 80 yards. His offense looked very good on that opening drive.
Well, and this is going to be the struggle for Thompson, or I should say the challenge, I guess, for the Bulldogs tonight, because this is the Thompson, a Burke County defense, I should say, allowing only 16 points a game. So points will be at a premium for Thompson tonight. They begin from their 20.
Well, missing Chad Crumley's going to hurt, though, because of that guy right there, Demekus Taylor.
Demekus Taylor, big gain across midfield, inside the 40, still on his feet, out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 36-yard pickup for Demekus Taylor.
And there was one of the Burke County players from earlier, but, man, what a play by Demekus Taylor. Just wide open, actually, good blocking. Got to credit that right side of the line. But that's what you got to look for with this Thompson team. They run out those receivers and then give Demekus a lot of room to run. And, well, again, last week he's coming off that 223-yard rushing performance and 5 touchdowns. He did that in just 3 quarters against Cross Creek.
No gain for Taylor there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Last year, 28 rushing touchdowns. Or 29 rushing touchdowns, 15 passing touchdowns for Evans. Led them to a 9-3 record.
And straight through the middle, this is going to be a touchdown. Thompson, but I think it's going to come back.
Yeah,
there is a flag in the backfield. Boy, he was wide open, was Tyler Curry. Would have been his 4th score of the year, but the Bulldogs are backing up.
Well, same thing happened to Burke County earlier. They run a touchdown, penalty call brings it back, and boy, good blocking again up front. There was a huge hole for Curry. But it's going to come back. It looks like a hole.
It's holding on the offense. We'll replay 2nd down. 30.
Boy, 2 huge plays for Thompson on this drive. One of them comes back, though. Taylor with a long run, and then Curry. And both times they had just a lot of open field because the line did a terrific job. And I think, again, that's where Burke County's missing number 1, Chad Crumley, a lot. Not saying one player makes all the difference, but when he's your leader on defense and he's the guy that might have been spying the quarterback.
Bears need to get to the 24-yard line. And the ball is loose again. And I believe Thompson got back on it, but we'll unpile everybody.
Yeah, I think Taylor might have gotten it back. Actually, it was one of the big linemen that got it back. That might have been Jones.
Yep, Tobias Jones. Big senior lineman.
Yeah, and a good job by, it was 42 for Burke County who got his hand on the ball.
Eric LaForce,
Yeah.
who is a force on this Burke County defense. Tied for the team lead in tackles for loss with 8. It is 3rd and 14. Got to get to the 24. Taylor wants more than that, and it's going to be picked off. That's going to be all the way back to the 30-yard line. And a turnover Damian Williams with his 3rd interception of the year for the Bears.
Yeah, one of the better athletes on the field, and Damian Williams comes up with it. That one was just an overthrow, and he was just playing a safety valve, and the pass overthrown, and he was right there to get it. That's the 2nd turnover for Taylor, a fumble on the opening drive, and now an interception. So Burke County with the lead and the ball here at the Brickyard in the early going.
Burke County, of course, coached by the dean of area coaches, I guess you could say at this point. Eric Parker in his 22nd season overall, 12th in Waynesboro. Hard to believe he's been in Waynesboro 12 years already. 177 and 86 overall, 109 and 36 at Burke County. In fact, this game 1 year ago was his 100th win. There's a sideline warning against the Bears here.
I just want one time them to throw a sideline warning on Matt. That's my goal. We got one more game for it.
Option, Dove keeps up to the 38-yard line.
Well, Game Night Live presented each week by McDonald's. Don't miss out on McDonald's new sweet and spicy honey barbecue glazed tenders featuring McDonald's all-white meat, crispy buttermilk chicken tenders, hand-tossed and glazed to order, and a new sweet and spicy honey barbecue glaze made with brown sugar and a variety of spices. Available for a limited time at participating locations. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Gave him 6 on the play. And that'll be straight ahead with Robertson. He's the sophomore. But he's averaging 5 a carry. Picks up 3 here. It'll bring up 3rd and about a yard.
Another nice play by Kendrick there making the tackle.
Kyle Robertson. Teams with McGee. Make up one of the better backfields in the CSRA. On 3rd and 2, 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Now 1 in motion. Dove will keep. First down up to about the 43.
Well, it's so tough. These new offenses where they run the receiver or running back on what looks like a jet sweep, and you have to be focused on that. And when the quarterback fakes it and goes up the middle sometimes, you're just not going to stop them from getting a couple of yards because your focus is on that receiver or that fast back that's running out of the backfield sometimes.
Here's McGee. Not much there. Dylan Hobbs, first man there to meet him.
Yeah, first time we called Hobbs' name tonight. Came in this year off a really good sophomore season last year.
This will likely be the final snap of this first quarter. And it's Dove, another keeper, up near midfield to the 48.
And stepping up, making the tackle that time was number 9, Fanning. Jamon Fanning, but not before Dove was able to pick up some decent yardage.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 5 when we flip the field and return for the second quarter, unless they got 10 seconds to try to get a snap off here. Let's see if they do it. And Eric Parker will try to steal an extra play here. It is McGee. And I think Thompson was thinking they were going to go to the end of the quarter as well because McGee picks up a big first down up to the 45-yard line, pickup of 7. And so it'll be 1st and 10 Bears.
I'll tell you who McGee reminds me of a little bit. He's probably maybe a little thicker, but you'll like this one. He runs a little bit when he outside like Torrin Kirksey.
Love it.
From Georgia.
Love it.
Georgia Bulldog.
All right, we're through 1. Your score. Burke County Bears 7, Thompson Bulldogs nothing on Game Night Live. Burke County 1st and 10 from the Thompson 47. Bears working in Bulldog territory. And straight up the middle will be the sophomore, Michael Robertson again. Give it a couple.
Well, the last couple of years when we've done this game between Burke County and Thompson, one of the big stars has been Christian Tutt, and it's been fun watching him this year at Auburn. A 32-yard punt return in his first punt return as a collegiate player. He also has an interception this year as well, so good to see him getting some playing time at Auburn as a true freshman.
Dove will keep to the 41, pick up About 2 more.
Fanning and Dove colliding there.
And with that, let's take our first look at the night at our Milton Rubin Chrysler scoreboard.
Well, the Evans Knights out in front of Alcovey, 7-0 the score there. A little bit of a surprise. Warren County, they got a great young running back, by the way. Can't wait to see him next season. He's just a sophomore. They lead Aquinas 8-7. Richmond leads Cross Creek in this region, in the same region as these two. 7-0 is the score there. Jefferson County on top of Westside 13-zip. We'll get to more after this McGee run as he gets the first down. Also, we've got North Augusta leading Aiken 14-3. And some finals from last night. Greenbrier knocked off Lakeside 14-6. South Aiken topped Midland Valley 52-27. Williston Elko was a winner last night as well, 46-26 over Denmark. And Wagner Sally blasted North. I think it was 46-0, and that was a region title clincher for Wagner Sally, who is, I think, 7 or 8-1, ranked number 2 in the state, having a really good year.
Yeah, congratulations to
Thompson's first time out.
And Thompson time out here. While they do that, we'll remind you that if you want to watch the replay of this game, we'll have the encore presentation coming up this Sunday at 12:30 on WJBF News Channel 6. It's 7-0 Burke County. The Bears operate from the Thompson 34-yard line. Already up 7-0. Dove will keep inside the 30. What we're seeing now, why Wanye Dove is racked up nearly over 500 yards on the ground so far this year.
Well, this is the best I've seen him in 2 seasons. Now, last year, of course, was his, he was just coming in as kind of the third quarterback, but he did play a lot. And then earlier when we saw him this season, he was okay against Evans. Tonight, he looks he's running with a lot of confidence.
Speaking of running with confidence, Robertson straight ahead to the 26-yard line.
Well, other than when Eric Parker had Donquell Green, since he's been at Burke County anyway, it's always sort of been a running back by committee. They've never had the guys like A.J. Brown this year with 2,000 yards or about to get 2,000 yards. They haven't had that really. Donquell Green was a star, but other than him, they've always been kind of whoever throw anybody in and they can make it happen in this offense. McGee made it a little bit different this year, but still, they'll throw Robertson in there. They'll throw, Dove gets a lot of carries.
Can Thompson get Burke County off the field? 3rd and 4. And it will be short of the first down by about a yard. And here we go again. Eric Parker, who can be a bit of a riverboat gambler. If I had to hedge my bets here, I would say the Bears will go for it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Yard, maybe a yard and a half. No, it is a yard, exactly.
And that's one thing. Neither one of these two teams have very strong field goal kickers. They're accurate from a certain distance, but neither one of them. Burke County's kicker's longest field goal this year is 22 yards, and so they'll go for it on 4th, and that's going to be a first down for the Bears.
He almost didn't get it, but that little second effort got it for him.
So he needed 4, I should say.
Yeah, last night the Greenbrier Lakeside game, Lakeside lined up for a 50-yarder with Brendan Grebeck right before the end of the half. Back-to-back offsides on Greenbrier, and instead he kicks a 40-yarder, but they were lining up for a 50-yarder. Talking about kickers and being able to make it from long range, he's certainly one of the top 2 or 3 in the area this year. Patrick Lovering at Aquinas also in that argument for best kicker.
Well, we're going to have a measurement here. We called it a first down. But
yeah, I thought he had it, but where they spotted it, it might be short by about
and it is first down.
Ooh, that was close.
Upon further review.
It was closer than I thought from where he landed, but they spotted it maybe a full football from where I thought it would be spotted.
So fresh set of downs for the Bears. AB, you mentioned some of the top kickers in this area. Gives us a chance to remind you that 1 week from tonight on Football Friday night, we'll be unveiling the rosters for Border Bowl 6, which I know you and I are excited to call.
Absolutely.
January 12th, Lucy Laney Stadium, Team South Carolina versus Team Georgia. Might see some guys from this game in that game. That's a nice play made there.
Well, every year people ask me kind of how's the area in football and who do we have player-wise and all that. This year, what I would say to them is it's a down year in terms of do we have 3 or 4 teams that are going to win state championships. We got a few with an outside chance. Barnwell's won, Bamberg Earhart Wagner Sally. But what I will say, after looking at some of the guys that are in the running to make the border bowl, we're loaded with college players in that senior class. So it's going to be a fun border bowl this year.
Robertson one way, then the other, and nowhere. Nice play made by Ontario Kendrick for Thompson. And going back to the previous play, I want to mention Cosmos Kendrick making the tackle in the play before that, but mainly because I've been wanting to say Cosmos Kendrick the entire game. But he's a player. He leads the team with 27 tackles, 3 sacks, and adds to his total there. So it's 3rd and 16. Dove looking for the touchdown. He's got his man down inside the 5-yard line. That is Michael Robertson. First down, 1st and goal, Bears.
Yeah, and he steps out of bounds, or that would have been a touchdown. Didn't really get his footing where he was, I think. If he'd have known, he might have been able to catch that and score. On the previous play where they were stopped for the loss, Matt Lane down on the field mentioning number 18 for Burke County, Jerron Patterson, was trying to come out of the game, was nicked up. They couldn't get him out, and he was supposed to be the lead blocker on that play, and perhaps that's why that play kind of fell apart. But doesn't matter. Burke County is knocking on the door here again.
24 yards on the pass play to Robertson, and 1st and goal. Dove will keep getting a push, but then pushed back.
Yeah, Jason Moore, number 45, came from the opposite end to make that play. I thought you were going to say Cosmo Kramer, and I was going to say, wait a second.
It's hard not to. This is Cosmos.
Cosmos. Now, they have had so many great defenders on that side of the football in this rich, traditional, this history at Thompson High School. I mentioned Casper and Jasper Brinkley. Of course, Jasper played at South Carolina, played in the NFL. Danny Verdun Wheeler, who played at Georgia. Jesse Hatcher. There have been some great ones. And throw in the offensive side. Eddie Lee Ivory, one of the greatest running backs in the history of Georgia high school football. 1st-round pick of the Green Bay Packers out of Georgia Tech. And that ball dropped. And, of course, Jerry Mays, who was about 5'6", led them to 2 state championships in 1984 and 1985. He went on to Georgia Tech and was a star. The quarterback on those teams, Terry Pettis, also went to Georgia Tech. They've just had so many good ones over the years.
And you mentioned earlier those early 2000s teams.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mentioned the defense for those teams, but on offense, Deion Palmer, who was the son of Horace Grant. Deion Palmer, who out of high school went to Louisville. He ended up at Georgia Southern. DeMarco McNair was the great running back on those teams. They were simply loaded.
That they were. Bears call timeout to talk about it. 3rd and 6 when we return. Third and goal for Burke County, already leading 7-0. We play midway through the 2nd quarter. Dove rolls, throws, and it is incomplete. 4th down.
Well, last time it was 4th down. Dove did okay with it.
True.
With a dart into the end zone. That was a little bit low. He had his target. If he throws that about 2 feet higher, that's a touchdown. Just threw it into the dirt.
And it appears as though we will have our first field goal attempt of the night. This will be a 22-yarder, which is Jacob Hickman's long of the year. Actually, this one will be more like 23. They'll hold it at the 13. And the kick is good.
It was a high snap. Dove did a good job just getting the snap down. And I don't know how it wasn't blocked, but somehow it gets through there, and that puts Burke up 10-0.
What a drive by Burke County, going 70 yards in 18 plays. And Nathan Edwards, our statistician, heading us an amazing stat during the break, AB.
Well, he said while that drive was going on, man, they better get their defense off the field, talking about Thompson, or they're going to be worn out. How about this? 36 offensive plays for Burke County already, only 8 for Thompson. That is amazing. 36-8.
And that was actually, I'm recounting my notes, that was a 20-play drive for Burke County that ends with the Hickman field goal. Let's go down to Matt Lane for our first Augusta Auto Auction sideline report of the night. Matt, what do you got?
Thank you, John. Going into that third down, coaches from Thompson really reiterating to the guys this was the last play they were going to have to, the last stop they were going to need before Burke was going to kick the field goal. Although they did get the field goal, really kind of a big stand up there for Thompson, really stopping them, because whereas half the quarter's gone by before, since, you know, Demetrius Taylor's been on the field, it's been almost 15, 20 minutes of real time. So going to be pretty tight coming back out here as we see him running down the sideline for Thompson on offense, not being on the field in so long.
And that was Taylor out as a receiver on that play.
Yeah, a little trick play there. They lined up a different player in the shotgun and tried. That was Curry back there, and they tried to throw it to Taylor. Any way you can get his hands on the ball in the open field is a good idea. He is a spectacular open field runner, an underrated passer. You know, last year, again, he threw for 15 touchdowns to go with the 29 rushing scores. This year, the numbers have not been as good, but again, Thompson has played a really tough schedule, and they've had a little bit of a down year for the Bulldogs as well, of course.
This time, they will go back to the ground, and Curry will pick up a few. Give him 3. Yeah, that last Burke County drive, just doing some math here, ate up nearly 8 minutes of time.
Yeah.
That's and now you're already down to 3rd down and 7. This, if you're at the Thompson offense here, this is early on at least. You really need these 7 yards to keep that defense on off the field.
I mean, how do you stop Demetrius Taylor? Keep him on the sidelines. That's what they've done. That's the best defense you can have for him.
They need 7. Taylor will throw, and what a catch! Juggling.
Bubba Murray.
Caught Bubba Murray. He is the Dogs' leading receiver. And what a grab, and what a huge first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, I say this because I expect a lot out of Bubba Murray, but he's been one of the more, in terms of statistically and what he's been able to do, a little bit disappointing this year. I was expecting a huge year from him now that he was kind of the focal point as far as the running back position goes. Tyler Curry actually started in the backfield tonight. Murray kind of plays all over. But there he made a great juggling catch, and that was a huge play to keep that drive alive for sure.
From the 47-yard line, and this is Tyler Curry. Curry with room inside the 20, cuts 5, down at the 2.
Well, big answer so far by this Thompson offense. They've had a couple of plays here and there, but really nothing to speak of. And then all of a sudden, a big throw and catch from Taylor to Murray, and now Taylor to Curry on the screen pass, and he let Curry do the rest of the work.
45 yards on the pickup for Curry. And it is 1st and goal for the Bulldogs, trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Yeah, this would be a huge score if they're able to punch this in. He's nothing fancy here. They just threw it out to Curry and said, hey, beat that corner. And if you beat him, you've got some running room. He got a little help blocking downfield. And just a good run there after the catch by Curry.
So now Taylor on the keeper. Somebody grabbed him by an ankle. He dives across. Touchdown, Thompson.
Well, they had him stopped, but Taylor is just so elusive. He's able to get free and score the touchdown. Demetrius Taylor, who was here as a sophomore and was the backup quarterback to Mills Ridings, transferred to Evans and had one of the biggest years in the history of high school football in the CSRA statistically. Running and throwing, he had over 3,000 yards and about even. He about 1,600 yards one way, 15 the other, and then the 44 touchdowns. Moved back to Thompson this year, and he gets into the end zone there.
And the extra point is up, and it is good off the foot of Ben Cushman. And Thompson back within 3 with 4:39 left to play here in the first half. Kind of a interesting little dynamic to this game that we haven't had so far this year. We are situated between the Burke County radio crew to our right and the Thompson radio crew a couple of booths down. And so every time anything happens, almost before we can process what happened, you can hear screaming from one side or the other. Well, that time it was the Bulldogs radio crew and Dennis Sanders, the longtime play-by-play man of the Bulldogs, with reason to get excited. And let's get an update on our Milton Reuben Chrysler High School scoreboard.
Well, the big matchups in Class 6A in the area. Evans leads Alcovey 7-0. Grovetown trails Heritage 7-3. Evans and Grovetown play next week. The winner of that game next week will be the region champion. Richmond Academy 7-0. They lead Cross Creek. Also, you've got Aquinas and Warren County. Warren County leading that one 20-13. That's a little bit of a surprise. North Augusta still leading 14-3 over Aiken, and 13-0 Jefferson County leads West Side. That's your Milton Reuben Chrysler scoreboard.
Cushman kicks it away. It is a sort of a squib kick, and absolutely nowhere to run as the Black Shirts eat him up back at the 15-yard line. It was Jalen Simon, the senior receiver, on the return for Burke County, and the Bears will have it first and 10 at their 17-yard line. I'll play glass half empty guy for you, AB, right now.
All right.
Yeah, the Bulldogs scored, and that's great, but they only took like 2 minutes off the clock, and now the defense is back out there. That
that's glass half empty. They got 7 points.
Anybody who knows me, I can get rid of your silver lining in a hurry. I'm a Falcons fan, I'm a Bulldog fan, and a Braves fan, and I know all about that. So this is a new quarterback in for Burke County. It's Michael Johnson, a junior.
Well, he played a little bit in the game we saw with Burke County earlier this year against Evans. And like I said, Eric Parker's not afraid to throw anybody out there at any moment. If they're on this team, they're ready to play is kind of his philosophy.
Johnson does have a touchdown pass on the year, 165 through the air. Picked up 2 on the ground there, 2nd and 8. It is still Johnson. And again, the Thompson defense equal to the task. Big number 92, DeQuavius Butler.
Yeah, Thompson always has 2 or 3 of those big guys that they just sit right there in the middle and say, okay, run against these guys. And they always do it. They're always numbered in the 90s. You know, last year they had Randall. They had a couple of kids in there, and, you know, they just stick another one in there. And I'm telling you, Jones, 93, is really tough inside. He's just such a big load to deal with.
Johnson will throw for the first time, and incomplete. And another big stop by this Thompson defense will give the Bulldogs the ball back with 3:19 left to play in the half. See who had the coverage for Thompson here. There's number 21, James Evans. So the Bulldogs are going to get great field position. Marion Martin is back at the Bulldog 45-yard line.
Well, and how about this? The game really dominated by Burke County, yardage-wise and everything else until that last drive. And now all of a sudden, Thompson's 1 score away from taking the lead late in the first half here. They got to feel pretty good about where they are right now.
3:11 to do it. Don't forget, coming up tonight, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. All of your scores and highlights from across the CSRA. Some big matchups with postseason implications tonight. Brendan Robertson and Zach Hughes will have it for you. Football Friday night, 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. So Taylor sets the Bulldogs up on 1st and 10. He's got the corner and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A pickup of 25 yards.
Well, that's what Burke County doesn't really have. They've got good players, don't get me wrong, but the best player on the field is number 1. And when you are missing your best defender in Chad Crumley on the other side of the ball, that even makes it more glaring that Demetrius Taylor is the best player out there. They're going to have to bottle him up if they're going to want to, continue leading or win this football game.
A Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance first down, and they'll pick up a couple more. Give him 3. That was Tyler Curry again.
Taylor, just a great athlete, plays safety, punts, and of course quarterback. They had him out at receiver earlier, just a superb athlete. Also, not a bad basketball player.
Well, what a shift in momentum
Yeah.
from the first quarter to the second. Here are the Bulldogs driving, trying to take the lead. It's Taylor.
Oh,
what a move!
fake.
Taylor! Touchdown, Thompson. Wow.
Well, 2 years ago in that same corner, running to that same corner, it was Christian Tutt making a fake to score on a punt. And now it's Demetrius Taylor giving Thompson the lead. What a fake he made in that secondary. Wow.
Brendan Robertson and Zach Hughes back at Television Park. If you're looking for top plays for Football Friday night, take a look at what Mr. Taylor just did. 26 yards to give the Bulldogs the lead.
Wow, what a move he made. They looked like they had that pretty well defended. Then he broke up, and you're thinking, okay, he's going to pick up a decent run. But he made that one fake that made the safety come up and miss, and he was gone.
So Cushman's extra point gives Thompson the lead for the first time tonight. The Bulldogs 14, the Bears 7, and here we go. Watch this.
Watch the fake right there.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. There's somebody not going to enjoy watching that game film with Eric Parker. I can promise you that.
and this Thompson offense is doing this very quickly. That drive took less than a minute. So 2:19 now for the Bears to try to answer before the half. Coming up at the half, we will, as always, pay a visit to our host school in our high school spotlight segment. We may hear from the marching bands. It is homecoming. You never know if they're going to play on the field or not, but if they do, we'll let you listen in. And, of course, we will introduce you to our Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. But business to tend to first, still 2:19 to go in the half. That ball's live. And a good job by the Bears to jump on it. Let's see who was the heads-up player. I believe it was 77, and that is Trayon Harrington, a junior who saved the day for the Bears.
Well, he will enjoy watching the game film. Well, you know, this game, you talk about flipping the script. Man, 36 offensive plays to 8. Burke County's moving the ball at will, leading 10-0. All of a sudden, again, when you have the best player on the field, and Thompson does, and Demetrius Taylor, things like that can happen. Now Thompson leads. That'll give the defense a little boost of energy.
And, oh, he was gone, and now he made something out of nothing. What a job by Wanye Dove, who was dead to rights back at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they had Dove look like for a big, big loss. And did you see that? At at the end of the play, one of the Thompson players patting him on the shoulder, and it sort of epitomizes what John Barnett, the former defensive coordinator here at Thompson, was talking about in their pregame show on radio, is that these two teams respect. You see them congratulating each other and patting each other. It's a rivalry. They want to win badly, but they respect the heck out of each other. And we've seen some other games this year where, because we've had a rivalry game almost every week, we've seen some get a little chippy here and there. But like I said tonight, these folks, they respect the tradition and the success that each program's had.
Illegal hands to the face against Burke County will negate the run by Wilson, which would have been close to a first down.
As you can tell, a little chilly out there, a little bit of rain coming down here and there.
Well, I mentioned the Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. Tonight's trivia question, Stump AV trivia question, has to do with the greatest punter. Indirectly, the greatest punter in football history, of course, Thompson grad Ray Guy. And we'll get to that after the second down play, 2nd and 21. When you got the playbook for this, Eric Parker. Double throw, and it is picked off. Going the other way is Jamon Fanning, and he is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Another huge play for this Thompson defense.
Man, what a switch in momentum. Wow. Fanning made the first tackle of the game on the opening kickoff, and here he comes up with a nice play. He breaks on the ball and just cuts in front of the receiver. And that's just not seeing the defensive back. And just because the receiver's open in your eye line, you've got to be able to see that peripheral vision and know where those defenders are. And Fanning just jumps right in front there and makes a nice play. Wow, Burke County somehow has to get a stop here, or they're going to be down 2 possessions after they dominated most of this first half.
Taylor from the 22, and now whistle blows. And now the officials come to the near side to talk to Michael Youngblood, the Thompson head coach.
Well, one of the receivers is coming all the way across as well.
Yeah, that is Tamarian Martin.
He's coming out of the game.
He's coming off. Kendarian Lane will come in.
Only thing I could think, and he's a freshman, by the way, Martin, real good athlete. Was it an equipment issue or?
Matt Lane down on the field says maybe there might have been some words said down there, but it doesn't appear to be a big deal. This is a big deal. Tyler Curry fighting his way, but the ball is loose. The Bears think they have it.
Well, hold on. The officials have not ruled anything yet. Thompson saying they were down. The Bears have the football.
Wow.
It is their ball. What a huge play. Wow. That changes things just a bit.
2 huge defensive plays, one for Thompson and now one for Burke County in the last 2 minutes of this half. It'll be Burke County football.
Well, and you feel for Curry. He's just fighting for extra yardage.
Great run.
Yeah, great run. The ball ripped out. Yeah, and it does come loose. It did come loose. And picking it up was Christopher Singfield for Burke County. What a big play for the Bears. Because it looked like Thompson was going in for a score to go up 21-10. And if you're Eric Parker, you've got to be breathing a sigh of relief over that one. And now you just want your offense. I'm sure he would take it to the locker room right now if they'd let him.
And we'll see if the Bears try to be aggressive here or just try to get into the locker room without any further damage. Dove, room to run, first down across the 20.
Well, one thing I'll say, and I commented on this a couple of weeks ago with Grovetown and the last time we saw Burke County, is the great blocking downfield from receivers. We didn't used to see that in high school. You know, high school football, you had great running back, great quarterback. They got the attention. These kids are so well coached. Earlier on that nice run by Demekus Taylor around the end, you saw the coach fussing at one of his receivers for not blocking downfield. They're so well coached. It's just a nuance of the game that is a focal point now that didn't used to be.
67 seconds left in the first half, not a minute 87. And after the 16-yard pickup by Dove on first down, it is another good pickup up close to another first down. It'll be about an inch short depending on the spot. And they're going to mark it just shy.
That was Devin Wilson on the carry.
They're going to give him 9. And there'll be a timeout by the Bears with 52 seconds left. And that'll allow us to play America's favorite game show, the Stump AB Trivia Question. So, as you know,
last year I was so confident going into these. This year, you broke my will, John.
Well, you know, and I'm not going to lie, we're getting close to the playoffs,
Yeah.
So this is a playoff caliber question.
Here we go.
I had 2 of them actually, and I'll give you the second one in the second half, time permitting, as a bonus question. But I went with this one.
Okay.
All right. So the Ray Guy, Thompson grad, greatest punter in football history. Every year, the Greater Augusta Sports Council awards the Ray Guy Award to the greatest punter in college football. They have every year since 2000. This is the 19th Ray Guy Award. Only one college has had more than one punter win the Ray Guy Award. Name that college.
Okay.
We'll get your answer in the second half.
That's an excellent question, by the way.
Thank you.
Very good.
I was kind of proud of it myself. So second and a little less than a yard here for the Bears from the 29. Dove will keep. He'll have the first down across the 35, give him to the 37. Clock runs under 50 seconds now.
Yeah, Dove has played a good game, but despite the dominance early, his team is down as we close in on the end of the first half here at Brickyard, one of the storied high school facilities in Georgia.
This place built, well, the exterior wall is what they refer to the brick, is why it's referred to as the Brickyard. It's a brick wall that surrounds the playing field. And back in the early part of the 20th century, the school across the street burned down, and they used the bricks to enclose the football field. And over the years, they have added, 2012, a massive renovation in here. The press box we're sitting in right now is part of that renovation. They redid the home stands. One of the few high school stadiums you'll see with full bleachers in the end zone on the south side of the stadium, and just a wonderful, wonderful high school venue.
And it's like going to a small college game. There's no, you got tailgating, people. And what I love about Thompson, and I'll say this, more than any other school in the area, every person that played or graduated from Thompson, it seems like, comes to the games. You hear them all the time talking about, I was class or whatever, I was class of it, and they're all still supporting this program, which is so good to see.
1st and 10 from the 37 for the Bears. Double throw. Wants a bunch. Incomplete. Good coverage back there by James Evans, and now a flag comes in very late. Let's catch the call.
Well, you're not going to have a happy sideline over here in Thompson.
It's interference on the offense.
Oh, it's on Burke County.
Yeah.
So instead of 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line.
I don't know if I would have called that either way, but I guess they said it looked like the Thompson receiver maybe came over the back of the defensive back there as he was trying to make a play on the ball.
Pass interference on the offense. We'll replay 1st down.
So again, instead of 2nd and 10 from the 37, it'll be 1st and 25, all the way back at the 21-yard line, with 38.9 seconds left to go. This is Robertson. Not a bunch. You wonder at this point if the Bears will continue to call timeouts, or if that pass interference call will lead Eric Parker to just cut his losses and head to the locker room down 4. And it appears as that's what the Bears are going to do.
Yeah, they're going to let it run out. A nice battle back by Thompson, because they were down 10-0. Their defense was tired, and Demekus Taylor and that offense made a couple of big plays to get them back in and take the lead.
And listen to this Thompson crowd, and look at these Thompson players. Well, there are the Bears, but the Thompson bench jumping up and down after the way they played in that second quarter, and will take a lead to the locker room. So let's take it down for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Matt Lane is with Thompson head coach Michael Youngblood. Matt.
Coach, I know going into the half right there, that last turnover, and it looked like you might have another chance to get a score there with the turnover hurt you, but what a second quarter for Thompson. Really kind of turned it on there.
Well, we had some things that we missed early on in the game that we felt like we was going to have a chance to score some touchdowns, and we kind of missed them. And then right there in the going in, you just can't turn the ball over right there. You just got to get down on the ground, give yourself a chance to run the play. But kid is fighting hard, trying to get more yardage, and we just got to go in and tell him. That's why I didn't fuss at him, because I know he's trying to play his tail off. So we missed some things right there that we got to go clean up the second half, because we feel like we got a couple plays that we can get off, but it's a good, hard-fought ball game.
Really starting the game, Burke County kind of dictated things really with those long drives. I know you had the turnover early in the game, but the offense responded after kind of sitting for about 15 minutes. But what are you going to tell your defense and those long Burke County drives that we saw in that first and to start the second quarter?
Well, we did something different that we hadn't showed all year. We went to a 4-man front, and we kind of missed a line a couple of times. And our kids, for whatever reason, got a little discombobulated. But once we got them to settle in and settle down, I thought they did a good job of, once you saw they're lining up where they're supposed to line up at, we did a better job of maintaining some of the things that they want to do. Now, you got to give them credit. Now, that's a good football team over there. They got a great offense with a guy that has been running that offense with a great offensive mind. So we got to come out the second half and not only match their intensity, but we got to make this game physical.
Absolutely. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt, and our thanks to Coach Youngblood as his Bulldogs lead here 14-10 at the half. And stay tuned for the halftime show here on Game Night Live. It looks like we will have a performance by the marching bands. The Burke County Band is now taking the field. We will also visit Thompson High School for our weekly high school spotlight segment and update you on the Milton Rubin High School scoreboard, get to the highlights and stats from the first half, and of course, as always, introduce you to the Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy Award Hunters of the Game. All that's on the halftime show when we return. It's halftime on Game Night Live. Your score, the Thompson Bulldogs 14, Burke County Bears 10. Well, AB, a year ago, this game was the best game of the Game Night Live schedule.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-point Thompson lead at the half. Burke County came storming back in the second half. 2 touchdowns by Damari Kelly, who's now at Coastal Carolina, were the difference. Can we expect the same thing here tonight?
That's the one thing I don't know that they have. I don't know that they have that game breaker. Damari Kelly was that for him. Bill Knight was kind of the steady QB, and with some speed, don't get me wrong. He's playing baseball at Mercer now. But Damari Kelly was a game breaker. I mean, he had explosive speed and arguably maybe the best on-field, speed in the whole area last year. I guess you could argue Corey Watkins and Christian Tutt. But I don't know they have that this year. So I think they one thing they've got to do, they can't turn it over. They turned it over twice in the first half. And they've got to pack it in and somehow stop the run. They're missing Chad Crumley. I don't know. I got to check and see if 45 Jamichael Duke's sitting out there. Because remember, last game against Evans, we called his name throughout the game. Haven't called it tonight. So I want to check on that next time they're on defense, see where he is. But they've got to somehow find a way to get the ball out of Taylor's hands.
And I can only assume that Damari Kelly is watching the live stream on WJBF.com as the Chanticleers get ready to take on Georgia State tomorrow.
And by the way, he'll be going up against the Thompson Bulldogs. Your Corey Crawford,
good call,
who played for the Bulldogs last year, is actually, I don't know if he's starting or not in the secondary, but I know he's getting a lot of playing time this year as a true freshman at Georgia State for the Panthers.
Bulldogs will start from their own 20. And there is Demekus Taylor, and what a first half he had. 100 yards on the ground, on the nose, 68 yards through the air.
And by the way, in the first half, Thompson ran 17 offensive plays to Burke County's 46, yet they're up by 4.
Taylor again, 9 yards.
They averaged 11.2 yards of play in the first half.
That's amazing. Like you said, almost a point a minute on offense. Oh, they're going to give him a first down. So 10 yards for Taylor.
There's a good look at Taylor and his running back, Tyler Curry.
Burke County trying to avoid losing 2 straight region games. Last time the Bears lost 2 straight in the region. As Curry fights for tough yards, going to have no gain there. You got to go all the way back to 2009, the last time the Bears lost 2 straight in the region.
That is amazing. I pulled a stat up today. Against CSRA opponents since 2010, Burke County is 49-6. With 3 losses to Thompson, 2 to North Augusta, 1 to Washington County. They have not lost to any other team in the CSRA. 40-0 in that stretch since 2010.
Flag flies from the defensive backfield. See if we have a substitution problem here.
I do see big Jamichael Dukes in there. And like I said, just didn't notice him. We didn't call him in the first half. And against Evans, he was so disruptive.
And an illegal substitution on the offense. Still second down.
It is an illegal substitution. Our referee, once again, Mark Attaway. A reminder of what is at stake for these 2 teams. Burke County, it's very simple. Bears win tonight. They wrap up at least 1 home playoff game at the Bear Den. Thompson would need to win tonight and again next week in order to host a playoff game here at the Brickyard. Burke County off next week. And this is going to be a long touchdown, 70 yards, Demekus Taylor.
Well, that's the problem with packing it in, as I even said they should do. if you do pack it in, when he breaks that first line of defense, there's nobody back there, and that's exactly what Burke County did. And Thompson now in charge in this game, and Taylor is up over 180 yards rushing.
That is 20 unanswered for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're not catching him when he gets back there, that's for sure.
And Ben Cushman on for the point after.
Man, what a turnaround. They still have run half the number of plays of Burke County, less than half, and they lead it by 11.
Wow. We're barely started here in this third quarter, and the Bulldogs have struck again. Demekus Taylor from 70 yards out. Dogs by 11. Well, we were talking about the efficiency of this Bulldogs offense. That's not efficiency. That's just ridiculous. That was a 3-play drive that took a total of 1:18 off the clock. And the Bulldogs go up 21-10 on a 70-yard touchdown run by Demekus Taylor. And the Bears will start from their 32. Before they do, let's take it down to Matt Lane again on the sideline with a special guest from our partner, McDonald's.
Thank you, John. That's right. We're joined on the field by David Cravens of McDonald's, the Thompson location. And David, just a terrific night for football. I know you just mentioned your teeth chattering a little bit. It's finally football weather, isn't it?
It is actually football weather, and it feels great out here. But I wished I'd have had a bigger coat on.
You and me both. A terrific game. The Burke County Thompson game each and every year really packs the stadium and really kind of just engulfs really our area football in terms of two of the usually better teams in the area. What's it like each and every year being able to be a part of this matchup?
Oh, it's just great. It's great being it's just wonderful. There's always the competition here is just great. And McDuffie County really turns it on.
And you were talking, we were talking off the air a little bit about some of the students working up in the restaurants. Do you have any students from Thompson that work over at your location?
Yes, sir. We have plenty of students that work at our store. So, yeah, it's an exciting time in Thompson. McDuffie County is just excellent for us.
And I know you're going to join us on the field after the game for the McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Going to surely to be a terrific matchup here as Thompson's really turned it on. They've been kind of surprising here in the second part of the first half.
Oh, yes. To kick the second half off and come out, that's great. I mean, in the second quarter, they really did great, too. So,
well, join us back on the field at the end of the game for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Until then, back to you, John.
Huge hit by Joshua Dove on Wanye Dove. Joshua Dove.
Tobias Jones.
Tobias Jones
yeah.
on Wanye Dove. He picked up a yard after the big run to start the drive by Robertson. Dove will keep again on second down. Nope, going to pitch it out. And up close to a first down, but a little bit short is Ronnie Stone.
Yeah, Stone finally brought down, and again, coming from the opposite end. I mentioned him doing that earlier in the game, was number 45 for the Thompson Bulldogs. Watch him coming all the way across the field to help make that tackle, and there he goes in and makes the hit. That's number 45, Jason Moore.
So the Bears need 2 yards. They are into Thompson territory, but it is third down. And straight ahead, it is McGee. He'll have the first down across the 45-yard line. Talking about that McDonald's here in Thompson, it holds a special place in my heart. When you're driving from Augusta to Athens at 5 o'clock in the morning for a University of Georgia football tailgate.
You've done that once or twice, I think.
They know me by name.
Well, Burke County needs points here. They've got to turn this momentum around, and so far a pretty good drive for them.
Dove to throw, has a man, overthrown.
Yeah, he had him out there. That's Jalen Simon. That would have been 6. Yeah, Thompson's worried about that run. You know, one thing Thompson has always struggled with, and I think even the Thompson faithful will agree with me, even their great teams struggle at times against teams that can throw the football. Even the state championship team in 2002 that year, in the state championship game, they couldn't stop the pass. They've always been pretty good against the run.
Speaking of the run, here's Robertson, gets the corner and the first down.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for Eric Parker and his Bears. They needed a drive. I said they didn't have a game breaker, but what they do have, they can methodically move down the field. And luckily for them, there's still plenty of time left in this. They're only down, 2 scores. And there's a Georgia Farm Bureau first down for him. And McGee, who we were wondering whether he would play tonight, he's been in there, and he's in the backfield right now with Dove. Dove already with 20 carries on the game.
McGee again nursing a bad hamstring, missed last week's loss at Baldwin. Dove on the option. We have some trickeration. Bulldogs not buying it. What a play.
That's Jason again. I just called him out a few seconds ago. Number 45 for the Bulldogs, Jason Moore. He stayed home. And actually also give credit to number 6 for the Thompson Bulldogs, Rodney Lazenby, because Lazenby's the man that actually stayed home and allowed Moore in his pursuit to come make that play.
And we haven't mentioned Lazenby too much tonight, but he is the Bulldogs' leading tackler. 39 on the year.
Well, he did a good job there staying home on the little trick play. It was kind of almost a double trick play, really. And now they 2nd and 13.
And backs Burke County up to the 37. They need to get to the 24. And Dove will do that. Down to the 20.
Well, I tell you, that's a big play because I know that Eric Parker was probably going, wait a second, we've been running down the field. I throw a pass is incomplete. I do a trick play. It doesn't work. But Dove and the offensive line blocking for him there bails him out with a really nice play on 2nd and long. They get the first down.
Jawan Brinkley with possibly a touchdown saving catch for the tackle for the Bulldogs. 16 yards on the carry for Dove, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of Thompson.
And by the way, Dove is over 100 yards rushing now, too, and he'll come out of the game on this play, and they'll bring back in Johnson.
At 89 in the first half, 16 on that carry. As a second carry of the second half. Here's a pitch out to Williams, and
I like Damian Williams, man. He is a player. Some guys, again, just look the part. You watch him, he's just an athlete. He's got an interception tonight. He's got a forced fumble, which could be the play of the game if Burke County's able to come back and win. And watch this collision here at the end of the play with Fanning and the ball carrier there, Williams. Big, big collision, and Williams actually may have got the better end of it.
Bears have taken it all the way down to the Thompson 13-yard line.
Remember, they took it down deep early in the game and had to settle for a field goal.
Johnson still in at quarterback, and he's going to throw over the middle. Wide open touchdown, Sharon Patterson.
Yeah, it looked like the defender might have fell down right around the goal line, and that just left Patterson so wide open. Let's see if we can see this. Yeah, he tripped as he's running over, tripped right at the goal line. I don't think it would have mattered. I think Patterson was so wide open it wouldn't have mattered. But that does give Burke County, who would have thought Burke County would have 2 touchdown passes in this game, but they do. 1 for each quarterback.
And Jacob Hickman in to try to pull the Bears back within 4 now with 6:31 to play. Boy, this game never disappoints, does it?
Well, here's the question. Do you not go for 2 here?
Hickman is on the field.
You go for 2, you make it a 1-possession game.
Ken Nugent, 1 call, that's all decision for Coach Eric Parker.
And we've got an injured Thompson Bulldog. I think the player that fell right around the goal line is still down.
Yeah, he is
and that
now being helped to his feet.
And that might give Eric Parker a chance to decide if he wants to go for 2.
There you see at the top of your screen. And that is Kenneth Nellums, who is quite the athlete for the Bulldogs. Fell down on that play, but great kick returner. Also averaging 13 a carry.
Well, they're going to go ahead and kick it.
And the extra point is no good. So, AB, you might be right. Bears should have gone for 2 there, and as it is, they will settle for the 6.
I know they have a field goal tonight. It was a 22-yarder, but as Nathan's pointing out, maybe they don't have confidence kicking the field goal, and, that's what they would have had to
score again either way.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. All right, so Bulldogs to Thompson lead 21-16, 6:31 left in the third quarter. Burke County goes 67 yards in 10 plays, takes 4 minutes and 11 seconds off. And the last 13 yards of it, the touchdown pass to Patterson. And the Bulldogs have pulled back within 5, 21-16. And Thompson will start from its own 22. And before they do, let's get an update on our Milton Reuben Chrysler High School scoreboard.
All right, well, let's go quickly here. You've got Silver Bluff leading Fox Creek at the half. Silver Bluff upset 96 last week. Fox Creek giving them fits at 7-3 Silver Bluff. Some other games, Aquinas struggling with Warren County. Warren County leads that one 28-20. Greene County continues to play good football. They lead Washington Wilkes 21-14. Hancock Central leads Lincoln County 26-6. Augusta Christian on top of Pinewood Prep. That one's 6-0. South Aiken, that was a last night game. South Aiken beating Midland Valley 52-27. North Augusta leads Aiken 27-3 as Thompson has the football here. We'll get to the other scores after this play.
As Taylor will throw and will complete. Flag down, probably going to come back.
Yeah, looked like maybe a block in the back by the receiver there. Other scores quickly. Barnwell trying to stay unbeaten. Bamberg Earhart last year beat them 31-0. Barnwell getting some revenge. It's 14-zip. Well, also you've got Jefferson County leading Westside 13-0. Hepzibah blanking Josie 21-zip. Screven County struggling with Glen Hills.
It's a block in the back against Thompson. We'll replay first down.
Butler Laney are tied at 6. Washington County leads Northeast Macon 34-0. Richmond 7-zip over Cross Creek. Evans leads Heritage Grovetown leads Heritage 9-7, and Evans leads Alcobie 10-5. So apparently there was a 3-run homer in that game, but not in the Boston-LA game, World Series game, which is going on as well.
So after the block in the back, 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. Taylor will keep. And after the 70-yard touchdown run on the last possession, this one will go for maybe 3.
Well, the one thing about Taylor, he's got a similar body type to Deshaun Watson, but he's just a little thinner. He's not quite as tall, but he's got that similar body type. That's the one drawback maybe for colleges is he's a little thin. But if you watch, he makes that first guy miss. Even sometimes when the guy's got him wrapped up, he's able to break that tackle. It's not that he's just shifty and make it elusive, which he is. He runs like maybe he's 20 pounds heavier.
And as if on cue, here goes Taylor across the 30-yard line, pick up a 5 more, and he'll bring up 3rd and about 2.
Well, that was a huge drive a moment ago for Burke County. Thompson had seized all the momentum in the game. Taylor had really taken over. Burke County with a nice long drive to get them points. And they're right back in it. 5-point game here in the 3rd quarter. One of the biggest matchups of the year in and year out. Thompson, Burke County.
Call it 3rd and 3 and a big 3rd down here for this Burke County defense. The offense just got you back within 5. Taylor, need to get to the 35. Not going to happen.
No. Good job defensively by Burke. You see what I mean, though? Players congratulate one another from the other teams on good blocks and stuff. It's a respectful rivalry, and I'm so glad I heard John Barnett mention that because it is a great point about these two programs.
Well, we asked the first-year coach of Thompson, Michael Youngblood, of course, a Burke County grad, about this rivalry, and he said this was the one he looked forward to every single year, and for that reason. 4th and 3, and the Bulldogs will go for it with the legs of Taylor ahead. First down.
Wow.
I believe he got it. The Bears say no, but that spot's a little short. It looked like he leaned forward from up here, but that spot is right on it. I believe we'll have a measurement.
That was a gutsy call, and it looked like he's going to be stopped, but there it looks like he falls forward and gets it.
And he does. There won't be a measurement. He needed 3, got 3 and an inch.
Yeah, Matt Lane pointing out this could be a big weekend for Youngblood if he's able to beat his former high school team tonight, Burke County, leading, of course, this Thompson team. And then last night, his Georgia Southern team, where he was a 4-year standout, pulling off that big win over App State.
Oh, Taylor in all sorts of trouble. And the first man there for Burke County is Keldran Cobb. That'll be his 5th sack of the year. He leads the Bears in tackles with 38 this year and his 8th tackle for loss, and a big loss it is for Thompson all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Man, he came out of there like he was shot out of a cannon. There was nothing Taylor could do. Nice play by Cobb coming off the edge.
They're going to call it a loss of 9. And I want to throw something else at you. Remember last year's game between these two? Eric Parker in the second half went for it on 4th down on a very similar situation deep in his territory, and they got it. And that turned the momentum in favor of Burke County. We'll see if it has the same effect for Thompson here as that one falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 19.
That's the one thing Taylor has struggled with a little more this year. Not quite as much talent surrounding him this year on this Thompson team as Evans had last year. And he's struggled a little bit throwing the football. He hasn't been, last year, Evans, keep in mind, they had Demetrius Taylor with 44 touchdowns. They also had, at running back, Corey Watkins, who, by the way, is the 2nd leading rusher for Furman this year as a true freshman. So they had both of them. That opened things up in the pass. Thompson hasn't had that, and he's not been as accurate a passer this year, I think, because of it. They played a brutal schedule, though. Keep in mind, they played Lee County. You think Lee County's not good? They just beat Valdosta last week 63-7.
Well, 3rd and 18 here. And the Bulldogs will take a timeout. Michael Youngblood will bring his team to the sideline and talk about it. All right, AB, you have had a little more than a quarter now to think about the Stump AB trivia question. To remind our viewers, the question was, the Greater Augusta Sports Council each year awards the Ray Guy Award to the greatest punter in college football. Ray Guy, of course, a Thompson native and alum. Only one school in the 18 years that they have awarded the Ray Guy Award has had more than one punter win the award. Name that school. Go.
Well, I wrote down 2 names. I know the answer, though, I think. The one I wrote down first is the answer. The second one I wrote down was Baylor, and I wrote that down because they had one player that won it twice, and I think somebody's done that since then. But the team that has had multiple winners is Utah, the Utes.
Very well done. I'm so impressed.
Yes.
Now, can you name the punters?
I cannot. I know one's Australian.
Tom Hackett won
Tom
in 2014
Hackett's Australian.
and 2015.
He's the Australian.
And then Mitch Wisnowski in 2016.
I know Tom Hackett's Australian because I've actually met him. So I know he's Australian, but I've never met the second kicker.
You mentioned Baylor. Daniel Sepulveda won in 04 and 06. And Louisiana Tech had repeat winner in Ryan Allen in 2011, 2012. By the way, the finalists for this year's Ray Guy Award will be announced a week from Monday, November 5th, as on 3rd and 18, Dylan Hobbs is going absolutely nowhere. The wall of white engulfs them.
Well, it looked like they had another play designed there. They had another, like a double reverse, and Hobbs kept the football, and they had Taylor streaking downfield. I think they might have been trying to throw a double reverse and throw the ball downfield. Hobbs kept the football there, though, and both teams have tried trick plays, and the defenses have been ready for it.
So that drive for Thompson, the Bulldogs went minus 3 yards in 8 plays.
I mean, the momentum shifts in this game is crazy. I mean, it's from one end of the spectrum to the other. And now Burke County should get good field position here.
Yeah, the returner standing at his own 45-yard line, and this will be a returnable kick across midfield. And Devin Wilson will bring it up to the 41-yard line. Great field position for the Bears. But real quick, I want to mention, a week from Monday, the Ray Guy Award finalists will be announced. And then Thursday, November 6th, of course, the awards show, December 6th, I should say, the College Football Awards show. They'll announce the Ray Guy Award winner on live TV on ESPN.
Well, we just heard something from Matt that we're going to mention in a second. And it's a big story to begin with. It's even bigger because this was supposed to be a little bit of maybe a down or rebuilding year for Augusta University. Maybe not in basketball. We'll have it coming in a second as Leon McGee runs around the end for good yardage there. It's going to be a pickup of about 6. John, you want to do the honors on this one?
I'm still in shock a little bit. I didn't catch the actual score, but in an exhibition game up in Columbia tonight, the Augusta University Jaguars have upset Frank Martin's South Carolina Gamecocks. What was the score again? 77-72. Dip Mitris's team. Matt Lane telling us he's looked at his phone 3 times to make sure the score is correct. I remember several years ago.
They went to Athens.
They went to Athens for an exhibition game. That's when they had A.J. Bowman.
They were loaded.
That team, They were loaded and darn near beat Georgia that.
Well, when I was at Columbus, we almost beat Auburn in that situation. And I remember right after the game, one of the Auburn assistant coaches comes in. The head coach leaves. The assistant coach comes over. And they had to do a practice after we left. They were furious. And, I mean, they beat us, but it was a close game. But, yeah, it's always fun when the small programs get to play those bigger schools.
A big third down conversion there by Robertson to the 34. And a fresh set of downs for the Bears.
Yeah, congrats to Demetrius and his squad. And now we get back to football as Burke County is on the move as they have now taken the momentum back in this back-and-forth affair against Thompson.
Well, hang on. How many points did you go for against Auburn?
I went for 5 points, John.
Did you really?
I did.
Nice.
1 3-pointer and 2
Any
free
dimes?
throws. Huh?
Any dimes?
I don't. Look, if the ball got in my hands past half court, I shot it. So I doubt I had any assists. I didn't play a whole lot in that game.
Here's Dove pitching. And it's going to be a big gainer for Burke County. Damian Williams once again.
You will like this, though, John. As I got to college, I got better. In high school, I thought I was good. I wasn't good. I got better in college. But when I realized, cool your jets, we played a regular season game. We played Georgia in Athens, and I was a backup on the team as a junior, junior college transfer. They put me in the game, and I have to guard a guy by the name of Laterrell Green for about 4 minutes.
Georgia's all-time leading scorer.
And it was the worst 4 minutes of my life. He was so much quicker than I was. It was a brutal assault.
That's a fantastic story.
Yeah. 4 minutes that I will never forget. It was awful.
Nolan Richardson had 40 minutes of hell. You had 4 minutes
of
hell.
I had 4 minutes. That's all I wanted. That was when I realized, and I think my coach realized, I don't think he's ready for the big time just yet.
2nd and 7 from the 18. Dove will pitch it out. Oh, nice work. Out to Williams. Williams inside the 5, still fighting on his feet to the 2. There is a flag down back at the 18-yard or the 14-yard line.
I'm telling you, the last time we saw these two, saw Burke County play,
82.
Chad Crumley stood out. He's out with an injury. Leon McGee stood out. He's banged up. The guy who's really showing me something tonight is Damian Williams. I knew Wanye Dove could run the football. He's athletic. He's quick. I like this Williams kid.
Unfortunately, this one's going to be negated for the Bears.
That's holding against Burke County. We'll replay 2nd down. It will be an untimed down to finish the quarter.
That was the last snap of the third quarter, so we'll have an untimed down here. The Bears are already over on the sideline. And here they come now. So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 24. I believe Dove kept it. He did. And he'll go inside the 20. So just across the line of scrimmage for Dove to end this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters of play at the Brickyard. Your score, the home-standing Thompson Bulldogs 21, the Burke County Bears 16. Well, if you were just joining us, where you been? And as Vince Scully would say, pull up a chair because we got a fantastic finish. Burke County driving down 5 from the 19 on 3rd and 7. And they'll pick up about 3. That was McGee.
How big is that turnover near the goal line looming right now for Thompson in the first half, late in the first half, when it looked like they were going to go in for another score? They were already up 14-10. Tyler Curry had the ball fighting for extra yardage, and he fumbles it. It's 4th down. They're going to go for it here.
Big 4th down. Eric Parker going for it from the 15. They need to get to the 12. As Nathan points out, it is a long 3 at that. We'll see if they just try to pull them off here.
Yeah, huge play. Huge play.
They have 1 second to snap it. They do get it off. It's McGee.
He's not
nowhere to go. Thompson, defense holds.
Dylan Hobbs.
Dylan Hobbs with a huge play to drag McGee down. And the Bulldogs will take over on downs and end the Burke County drive.
Yeah, good for Dylan Hobbs because he's a kid who had a lot of hoopla around him last year as a sophomore. Had a great 10th grade year. And earlier when we saw him, we didn't call his name a whole lot. And I was a little surprised by that in the first game of the year against North Augusta. But he steps up and makes the play of the game so far defensively for Thompson. That was big because Burke County looked like they might be going in to take the lead there.
Now, if you're Michael Youngblood, do you stay aggressive or do you start trying to work this clock?
Well, I think you keep the ball in number one's hands. I don't know what you do with it, but I don't think it leaves number one too often.
Win or lose the game with D'Amica's Taylor.
Absolutely.
Well, the Thompson coaches are screaming something, but the snap is off. Here is Taylor, and he's got nowhere to go.
Man, great play defensively. I don't know who trying to get a number there coming out of the bottom of that pile. It might have been 38. Yeah, it was 38 who got the sack earlier.
Eldrian Cobb.
Cobb, yeah. Man, he did a great job staying with Taylor.
Loss of 1.
Yeah, some college out there, I don't know who it's going to be. Taylor will play somewhere, and they're going to get him a heck of a player. But right now, he's worried about holding on and getting Thompson a win.
Taylor again. Boy, they are running the playbook as if you wrote it, AB. Keep it in D'Amica's Taylor's hands.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's almost like, I don't want to bring up a bad Braves memory, but Mark Wallers has one of the best fastballs in baseball. And what does he get beat with? A curveball.
Yep. Thanks for that, AB.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's the first thing I thought of. Right as I thought of it, I went, oh, my God, I can't say that one. Tough.
Pickup of 7 yards for Taylor, 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
And flags fly from everywhere, and the Bulldogs will be backing up.
That was funny. That happened in, 90?
False start.
96.
On Thompson.
Nathan just said too soon.
Still 3rd down.
22 years, and it probably is too soon. I'm sorry.
I've never once watched the end of Game 7 of the 1991 World Series since that day.
Yeah.
Never will. No, I will never watch the national championship college football next year either, or last year, or maybe next year. 3rd and 9. Taylor, somebody got him by a shoestring and dragged him down at the 22-yard line. Looks like Keith Walker was the first man to grab him. And to bring up a 4th down. And it looks like this Bears defense has held.
This is almost the spot on the field. In Burke County last year, remember you said they went for that 4th down? Mm-hmm. I think they were about 5 yards further up the field than Thompson was here. I can't see Thompson going for it here. They've got to punt it away.
Again, Taylor is the quarterback, but he's also the punter. So he can throw. He's already done it once tonight, but he will kick it. And Burke County got a good bounce, but the Bears will take over in Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line. So with 8:34 left to play here in the ball game, Thompson leads 21-16, and the Bears 49 yards away. Don't forget they missed the extra point on the last possession. If they'd gone for 2, they'd be within 3, or could have been at least. Flag flies for the backfield. This is coming back.
Yeah.
Even though it was a nice run for Wilson. But all for naught.
Motion.
And we'll catch the call from Mark Attaway.
That motion against Burke County remains 1st down.
So the ball will move back into Burke County territory. It'll be 1st and 15 from the Burke 46-yard line. The weather has kept a few folks home, it looks like. We hope those of you who did stay home are joining us here on MeTV and enjoying what you're seeing. And the ball is out. I think it went out of bounds.
What a break from Burke County.
Boy,
wow.
boy, Thompson was on it, but with that wet grass, the ball just sort of squirted out of bounds.
They dodge a bullet here. That's Williams with the football, trying to make something happen again, and coming from behind was Fanning to knock it out of his hands, and they just couldn't get on it before it got out of bounds. You see, fighting for it was number 21 for the Bulldogs, James Evans, but just unable to corral that football. Man, Burke County dodged a bullet, but it's still 2nd and 15. They got to get 15 yards here.
Yeah, end result of the play was a yard gain for the Bears. Dove to the air. Nothing there.
Well, that'll put it at 3rd and 15. He was trying again to get to Simon.
Well, and now you put yourself, unless Eric Parker feels like this is 2-down territory, you put yourself in almost a definite passing situation here. Although you never know what Parker's going to do.
Yeah. 3rd and 15. To be honest with you, again, you would have thought, on 2nd and 15, you run it twice and get 15 yards, you would think, the way they run the football. But like you said, with that deep throw, that's now going to put him in a position where you assume he's going to have to throw it.
They need to get to the 39 of Thompson. Dove will throw. And flags, as anticipated, will be a pass interference on Thompson.
It was a definite call. Nathan Edwards was calling it before the flag was thrown. And I think it's going to be Bubba Murray who drew the call.
So the Bulldogs will bail the Bears out here.
Interference.
It's 3rd and 14, depending on where they spot the ball. If it's 15-yard flag.
Should be a first down, but it's not automatic. Murray was pointing that it was on the offense, but if we, Nathan Edwards, like I said before the flag was even thrown, was calling that one. Nathan, our spotter and statistician all year. So it looks like Thompson, that is a monstrous penalty. It's going to bail out Burke County.
Pass interference against Thompson. It's going to result in a first down.
It's a first down, and the Bears will now have the ball at the Bulldog 38-yard line.
3rd and 15, or 3rd and 14 and a half. They get the 15-yard penalty for the first down. That is big. Jim Dye and that Burke County offense. He's the offensive coordinator over there. A lot of people around the area respect him, and around the state for that matter. And you've got to be pleased that they got that penalty there, because they would have been punting it away.
It's a good name to have in these parts.
Yeah.
And the Thompson defense equal to the task on first down. And the first man in there was Skylar Lewis, leading a trio of black shirts.
It was Roberson on the carry.
Lost one.
As Nathan's pointing out, as much as they've been on the field tonight,
they have.
The Thompson defense looks ready to go. Look, this game, you're going on adrenaline. This is one that a lot of folks look forward to all year, and especially now that they're in the same region.
Need to get to the 28. Dove has a man. Complete. Oh, he stumbled at the 2-yard line. They're going to say he was down at the 1. Great pitch and catch.
I tell you, the play calling from Burke, what a fake by Dove, and he got his man wide open.
Yeah, Devin Wilson, and I mean, just tripped over his own feet at the 5-yard line, or that's 6. As it is, it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Matt Lane from the field says that right before that play, Thompson head coach Michael Youngblood was trying to call timeout, did not like the matchup, and you see the end result.
Wow, good stuff there from Matt. And, yeah, they marked him down actually at about the 2. And here's Roberson. Oh, and he's stuffed.
And he is knocked back to the 5.
Yeah,
Great play by
Lazenby.
Lazenby again. Second time we've called his name tonight. And we have a man down for Thompson at the bottom of your screen, and I believe...
Oh, that might be Jones.
Yeah, that is.
That would be a big blow.
Tobias Jones.
He is their best defensive player. And that would be a major blow if he has to come out. He's right there in the middle where Burke County does like to run that football.
Well, while they tend to him, we can't come to the Brickyard ever without thinking of the late, great, legendary head coach of the Thompson Bulldogs for so many years, of course, Luther Welsh. And we'll talk about him when we come back on Game Night Live. Well, great news to report for Thompson as Jones was able to jog off under his own power. But bad news for Thompson, it is 2nd and goal from the 2 from Burke County. Dove keeps, Dove scores, touchdown, Burke County.
Yeah, it's just too tough to keep him out of there. He's so quick. He sees that hole and gets through there. And they ran right up the middle, right where the backup defensive tackle is in the game. And look, wide open. The backup defensive tackle was double teamed and just blown out of there. Huge, huge play.
And now Eric Parker will go for 2 here and try to make this a 3-point game. As I mentioned, field goal kicking not a strength of either team. So here we go. You got 3 wideouts to the near side of your screen. Dove gives, and it's good.
Yep, got it in there.
Keon Fleming, I believe, was the guy to get the 2 points for Burke County.
And that was big because Thompson now a field goal only would tie it. So, man, what a
ball game we have here with 6:34 left to play. Burke County now leads it by 3, 24-21. We mentioned before the break, we can never come to the Brickyard without thinking of the late, great, legendary head coach of the Thompson Bulldogs, Luther Welsh. 43 seasons as a head coach from 1955 to 2010. 19 of those spent here at Thompson. Of course, 2 different tours of duty. The 8th winningest coach in Georgia history with 323, 14 region titles, 3 state titles here at Thompson, 84, 85. And then, of course, in 2003, 183 wins here at Thompson. I always think of Luther Welsh when we come to the Brickyard. Died at the age of 79 back in 2011, just 7 months after he coached his final game here.
And again, the longevity of his coaching career, not just here but everywhere, and the fact that he never missed a practice.
He was still in a 3-point stance at the age of 79.
Yeah, 47 years, never missed a practice, which is just unheard of.
So if Luther's family's watching, we're thinking of you, and always do when we come here. And his Bulldogs with some work to do now, trailing 24-21 with 6:34 left. They start from their 35.
The one thing Thompson has, again, that Burke doesn't, they've got Demetrius Taylor, who on a given play can be gone. And we've seen it already tonight. He's got a 70-yard touchdown, and they've got plenty of time.
He's right at 200 yards on the ground tonight. This one will go to Curry, and he'll pick up 3 or 4.
And Damian Williams comes up, makes a nice play from the secondary on the tackle, and Curry's up hobbling. They do have an excellent backup. It'll probably be, my assumption is, Bubba Murray.
Yeah, Curry's going to have to come out. Actually, it looks like it's going to be Travis Moss that takes his place, a freshman who's run for 320 yards this year and a score.
We saw Moss, come in early or late in the North Augusta game, early in the season. He's a good-looking 9th grader. They're really high on their freshmen and sophomores here at Thompson. They feel like they've got a ton of speed and athleticism in that group.
It is Moss. Taylor keeps and dives ahead. No gain.
Yeah, 26 for Burke County. That is Christopher Singfield, who recovered a fumble earlier. That's him stepping up and making a nice play. So Burke County's defense, who was really getting just shredded in the second and third quarter, has stepped up and made a couple of nice stops. And they would love to get one here and force Burke into a fourth down, or Thompson into a fourth down.
3rd and 9. Need to get to the 45-yard line. Taylor makes one man miss, throws, incomplete, 4th down.
Well, a lot of times coaches don't want a quarterback to tuck it and run it too quick. There, I think you'd prefer Taylor maybe to tuck it and run with it. He had one man to beat, but that's a big play is defensively for Burke County on the covers there, number 41. First time we called his name tonight. That's Artez Grubbs. Huge play. And this was, remember, this happened last year. Burke went for it on 4th and about this same spot of the field, and it turned things around.
And Michael Youngblood wants to talk about it. The Bulldogs will call a timeout. While they do, we'll get a quick update on our Milton Rubin Chrysler scoreboard.
Well, Evans has made it official. Their matchup next week with Grovetown will be for the region championship. 24-5. They beat Alcoby tonight. Burke County, by the way, leads 12-7 over Heritage. Or, excuse me, Grovetown. I keep getting that one wrong. Grovetown. So Grovetown Evans next week for the region championship, no matter what happens in that Grovetown game with that Evans win. Washington County rolling 34. They'll go to 8-1. 34-0 is the score. They lead Northeast Macon. Butler and Laney still tied at 6. Scrubbing County 15-13 over Glen Hills. Hepzibah beating Josie 21-zip. Jefferson County shutting out Westside 13-0. Hancock Central 26-6 over Lincoln County. Aquinas trying to battle back. That would be a pretty big upset. Warren County leads Aquinas 28-20 in that one. Also, you've got Augusta Christian. They're going to roll. They're up 20-0 over Pinewood Prep. Nice night for Augusta Christian, who's had a tough year this year. North Augusta 34-11 over Aiken. Barnwell 21-20. They lead Bamberg Earhart in a matchup of unbeaten. Both those teams 8-0. And ARC now leads Cross Creek. It's 21-6, Richmond Academy.
And I know Football Friday Night has a camera in Barnwell for the end of that game, so you'll see the finish and get reaction as the War Horses and Red Raiders duel to the finish. Here it is 4th and 9. Thompson going for it from its own 36. Taylor flags down. Might be a free play. Taylor running for his life, and he'll be dragged down at the 38-yard line. Matt Lane down on the field says he believes it's a false start on Thompson. So everybody
he had motion on the offense. It's refused.
Penalty is declined. And Burke County, with a huge stop, will take over on downs and have big field position, great field position at the 37-yard line.
Well, no other way to put it. Thompson's got to get a stop here. Burke County got a break earlier when a fumble stayed or went out of bounds.
On Thompson, that penalty's refused. First down.
It led to them marching down the field and scoring. Thompson now needs to come up with another big play. This time, keep that ball inbounds, or they've got to rip the football out. They've got to do something. They can't allow a Burke County score here.
4 minutes, 57 seconds left. Bears start from the Thompson 37. It's Robertson inside the 35.
By the way, after Taylor's long 70-yard touchdown that put him over 180 for the game, he's only got 16 yards since then. So Burke County has done a good job bottling him up.
Give Robertson 2. I'll give him 3.
And Jones is still not in there for Thompson. That is something to keep an eye on. His replacement, by the way, who was double-teamed on that touchdown earlier and blocked out of the hole, is number 70. He's a big kid, Christian Coulter, and he's one of their best offensive linemen, and they've got him in there defensively now.
Being asked to pull double duty late. Here's Robertson. First down to the 26-yard line.
Now, what a game.
And what a sophomore this Robertson is. I'm sorry, he's a senior. My bad. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking of the backup quarterback, Johnson. That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, this Thompson's defense, somebody on that side of the ball has to step up and make a play.
8 yards for Robertson.
tell you, and the thing is with Burke, when they've thrown the ball tonight, they got it wide open. They haven't had to throw. The only one that was threaded in there was the first touchdown.
Fresh set of legs in for the Bears. Pick up about 5 yards.
Was that Eldridge Williams?
Pushing and shoving after the
Or check that,
game.
27.
Keon Fleming,
the sophomore. That's what I love about Eric Parker, though. Keon Fleming, 10th grader. Oh, the game's on the line. They'll stick him in there. I mean, it literally is. Whoever the next man up is, he puts him in and just runs that offense.
There's a flag down against the Bears. So that'll negate the run by Fleming.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against Burke County.
Well, we mentioned the pushing and shoving, and the Bears are the guilty party, at least according to Mark Attaway, the referee tonight. And so that'll move the ball all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, the 37.
Now something to keep an eye on. Both of Thompson's starting defensive tackles are out of the game at this moment. They start the two big kids, 92 and 93, Tobias Jones and DeQuavius Butler. Both of them are not in the game right now.
2nd and 21. And Robertson's not going anywhere.
Well, good for him, the backup defensive tackle. And again, backup's kind of a loose term here because Christian Coulter is one of the best players on this team. He's a great offensive lineman. And there, he just throws his guy out of the way and makes the play. Nice job by Coulter. And this is a big stand from Thompson if they can.
But keep an eye on the clock. Just 2 minutes and 36 seconds, and it continues to run. And, yeah, Thompson only has 1 timeout remaining. 3rd and 21. The first down marker at the 17-yard line. Dove will keep down to the 32. Let's see if Michael Youngblood takes a timeout, and he will stop the clock with 2:12.
Love the decision, though, from Eric Parker to run the football to make him call that timeout.
Burke County will go for it. 4th and 17 on the Thompson 38. Bulldogs need a stop here. If not, it is ball game Burke County. Here's Dove. Hit at the 26, and down he goes. Thompson football. So, Thompson, no timeouts. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the ball game. And they will be 74 yards away from it. And if you're wondering about a field goal, Ben Cushman, 3 out of 6, I should say, on the year. And his longest is a 24-yarder, so the Bulldogs would need to get to the 7-yard line. Right now, they operate from their own 25. Taylor over the middle, got a man. It's Murray.
What
inside Burke County territory, all the way down to the 23-yard line.
The same play they hit Murray on earlier that he bobbled from the other side This time he runs from the left side across the middle and makes the catch, and it was wide open again.
52 yards.
What a play. That is huge, especially the fact that Thompson had no timeouts because you had to get 1 or 2 big plays in there somehow. And they get the big one there on the pass to Murray.
From their own 25 to the Burke County 25. Officially 50 yards. And now Taylor will keep trying to get the corner. He won't. Pushed down at the 23, I should say.
Yeah, the Thompson faithful wanted a late hit.
Yeah, it looked like he stayed in bounds. Clock still continuing to run. 95 seconds left.
Well, it looks like he got out of bounds, it looked like, and without question.
Clock is continuing to run.
I can't believe they ran the clock there. It looked like he definitely was out of bounds. If anything, wow.
Well, that could be a huge call here.
No doubt. He was definitely out of bounds. I am really shocked on that one.
Taylor, pressure, throwing, going to be short.
Yeah,
that'll stop the clock if nothing else for Thompson.
didn't have anything on that throw at all. And to be honest with you, it might not have been a bad thing because it does stop the clock at least. But now, 3rd down. But watch this play again. He is not down yet. He's out of bounds.
Wow.
I mean, there's no – he
Wow.
walked out of bounds. The official right there ran the clock. Wow, that cost him at least 30 seconds. That was big.
66 seconds left. An unfortunate break for Thompson, trailing by 3. Taylor breaks free.
There he is.
Taylor
There he
at the
is.
5. Cuts.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Doesn't matter now on that call. Well, and John, the difference between Thompson and Burke County, Thompson is quick strike. Now Burke County has less than a minute, and they're going to have to go a long way unless they get a big return.
22-yard score for Demekus Taylor.
We had said he had been quiet since that long touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. Quiet no more. Demekus Taylor with a big pass play on that drive and a huge run there for the score. What a game.
4th score of the night has given Thompson a 27-24 lead with 59 seconds left to play. And here is Cushman for the point after. And a very important point after it is, because if he makes it, Burke County would have to score a touchdown.
After the play, unsportsmanlike against Thompson, the penalty will be on the kickoff.
Well, that's going to be a big call for Burke County. That's going to give them much better field position on the ensuing kickoff. And as Nathan points out, Burke County has all 3 timeouts remaining. Cushman. That's good. Bulldogs lead by 4. Well, this is why everybody looks forward to this game every single year, and another one that everybody looks forward to, particularly in Richmond County, is where we'll be next week. Josie versus Laney. The rivalry renewed on the final week of the regular season for Game Night Live for 2018. Will be at Lucy Laney Stadium 1 week from tonight.
Trying to decide our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game.
Always a spirited debate.
And it, comes down to, because a lot of, it comes down to kind of who wins usually. But, man, so many good performances tonight. Wanye Dove, Damian Williams were both great for Burke County. Obviously, Taylor has been special. Real similar numbers. Last week, Demekus Taylor had 223 yards rushing and 115 yards passing. Tonight, he's got 225 rushing and 117 passing. Almost identical numbers. More importantly, though, was that last touchdown that puts his team up.
And if Thompson can hang on for these final 59 seconds, the Bulldogs would keep hope alive to bring a playoff game here to the Brickyard in a couple of weeks.
And let's see what Burke does.
Be taken at the 40.
They're going to get great field
45.
position. Here we
In
go.
the Thompson territory, the Bears will have a chance. Nice return by Keon Fleming.
That's the sophomore.
So, let's reset. 52.4 seconds left to play. The Bears, 49 yards away from it. Need a touchdown. 3 timeouts remaining.
What a game, man.
And Burke County, Nathan points out, that was probably so happy that the officials ran the clock on the last possession.
Now,
Would love to have those 20, 30 seconds back now. Dove, first down, throwing, completing, then some.
They do have their timeouts, and they'll call one there. 43 seconds left.
Jalen Simon, his favorite target in the timeout, as AB alluded to, 43.2 seconds left. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
I mean,
Pickup of 19.
It doesn't get any better than this.
No, it does not.
This is unbelievable. Man.
We've had some great matchups on Game Night Live this year, but this one.
Well, and we've done this game almost every year, and every year it's been good. Nathan pointed out the last 6 games I've been decided by less than a touchdown, 6.5 points, and this one's been even better than all those. Unbelievable. Yeah. And it's just something special when you've got teams with this kind of tradition, this kind of rivalry, with what's at stake. It just doesn't get any better, man. This is just awesome.
Well, stay tuned for the post-game show because there is going to be quite a celebration on one of these sidelines. We will talk with the winning coach, and we will name our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Great finishes all across the CSRA tonight. Huge games, massive postseason implications. Football Friday night coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6.
Officers on I-20 back to Augusta. I'll be rushing back to watch, so be lenient.
Thompson players imploring their fans to get up, make some noise. 1st and 10 from the 30.
Yeah, Burke is in position.
Dove keeps. Dove, first down. Hit hard
by
at the
Demekus Taylor.
16-yard line. You bet.
Oh, and now some pushing
now,
and shoving.
Flags fly.
Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you kidding me? It's going to be a Burke County player. It's number 10, I think, Roberson, who comes over. You just can't do that in that spot.
Oh.
It was a great run. You're out of bounds. The clock is stopped. Okay, so your guy took a hit. It was a clean hit. You just can't do that. And let's say, and I'm saying him, I don't know who, but that's who came running in at the end of the play.
We're about to find out.
After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 1.
Oh, they called it on
It's
Taylor.
number 1.
For the hit?
I don't know. They're calling because they're calling unsportsmanlike maybe after the hit.
I couldn't hear if he said after the play or not.
I'm not sure. And let's see where he's trying to explain it.
Guys, come on now.
And I think it was something that happened after the play because it was a clean hit by Taylor. And that show, I said he could play secondary. You saw there, he comes up and makes a big hit. But now all of a sudden, Burke County is going to have the ball. It's going to be half the distance. They're going to have it at about the 7 or 8 yard line.
Wow.
After the play, unsportsmanlike against Thompson with an ejection, first down.
So Burke County, 1st and goal.
Man, oh man, what a game.
From the 8-yard line. Dove running. Hit and dropped at the 6-yard line, 27 seconds, and the clock stops. Burke County will take its 2nd timeout.
Whew. I mean, this is unbelievable. What a game. I mean, this is a good one here.
Matt, can you tell us what you just told us in Augusta Auto Auction sideline report?
Demekus Taylor going out of the game with the unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 20, as you'll see, hobbled, definitely has his right cleat spat. Basically, his ankle or his foot's really hurting him, and he's playing the safety position, so be on the lookout for that on the next couple of plays as he's obviously playing a little hobbled up.
A former Evans football player, by the way, that's watching a broadcast, Lowell Cleveland, says that it was a taunting penalty is what it looked like to him. And that may have been the case. And my apologies to Roberson. I thought it was on him because he came running in. Maybe he saw what was going on and was defending his player. So my apologies to Michael Roberson.
Kenneth Nellums is the player to whom Matt Lane just referred.
And Nellums, remember, he got hurt down at the goal line on Burke County's last touchdown pass and had to come out. But, yeah, they need him back in there now. Man, what a game. We're down to inside the 10.
And so now it looks like Jemon Fanning has run in for Thompson to replace Nellums. 2nd and goal from the 7. This is Williams. Close. The ball is loose. The ball is loose.
Well, I think he was down.
They're going to say the ball is down at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, they're calling him down at the 1.
And Burke County will call its final timeout with 17 seconds remaining. Thompson coach is pointing the other way. They believe they have the ball.
Oh, man, that's close. That is close.
Well, again, they don't have the benefit of replay.
That is really close. Number 40, I think, is the player who tried to grab it out. Now here, Where did his knee touch? His knee touches right there, and he still got the ball.
So he is down.
Man, that's close, though.
Good call by the officials on the field.
Great call by the officials. I mean, that was very close. Even watching the replay, his knee hit, and he's got the ball, but then, I mean, a millisecond later, the ball's coming out.
It is 3rd and goal at the 1. And, AB, here's the thing.
Christian Coulter is imploring his team. Demekus Taylor imploring their team. Those are the captains. We got to get a stop here.
And it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Now Burke County is out of timeouts. You run the ball here, and you don't get in, you might not be able to get another snap. And then you can't spike it on 4th down.
No.
So this could be it if Burke County chooses to run the ball.
Yeah, this could be the play. You're right, John. They may not have time to get 2 plays off. One call, that's all. He's the smallest back you've got, but Dove has been the guy tonight. Or do you bring in McGee? I mean, the last time they go with Damian Williams. That's the thing with Eric Parker. He's not afraid to put any of his guys in that situation. I just got to think it's got to be Dove or McGee, though. They're the 2 standouts. I think it's got to be one of them, too. And let's see who's in there. Dove is in there, obviously. Is McGee in a direct snap?
It looks like McGee lined up for direct snap. It will be McGee straight ahead. Touchdown, Burke County.
Again, I tell you, Eric Parker, a play we haven't seen all night. McGee was hobbled coming into the game, and he just has the guts to put him back there. We haven't seen that alignment all game long, and he pulls it out here on the final chance for his team to come back and win. This is unbelievable.
McGee hobbled all night with a bad hamstring, did not play 1 week ago. And with the game on the line, possibly the final chance for Burke County, Eric Parker puts the ball in the hands of his junior running back, who scores for the 17th time this year. And now Hickman to make it a 4-point game that is no good. So it'll take a miracle for Thompson, but they do have a chance, down to 14.4 seconds left.
Unreal. What a game. I mean, this more than lived up to any kind of billing. Matter of fact, this lived up to the billing the last couple years when they were both ranked. Unbelievable game.
Yeah, I didn't think I would see a better high school ball game than we saw down in the Bear Den between these 2 last year, but this one has topped them all. Well, assuming this score holds, you Burke County fans, you want to see this again and relive this night, you can do it. The encore presentation of Game Night Live coming up this Sunday at 12:30 over on WJBF News Channel 6. So set your DVRs and join us. But it's not quite over. 14.4 seconds left.
I'm at a loss. First off, you don't think Thompson's going to score with no timeouts. Not only did they score, Burke County's got time. They go down and score. That penalty on the extra point for Thompson was huge. It gave Burke County great field position. Unbelievable game. This is what it's all about right here. Tough break.
Not good for Thompson.
Although, here comes
Time
Curry.
is ticking.
Here comes
Here's
Curry. Here's Curry.
Curry out of bounds at the 35. Now, there's only 5.9 seconds left. And so the Bulldogs are going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat here.
Yeah. Taylor or Murray is going to be the guy to get the ball here, whether it's Taylor in some sort of trickery with a run, whether you do a trick play to get it to Taylor out in the receiving as a receiver, or they throw it to Murray. That's what you're going with here, I think.
And there's a flag down at the 30-yard line. So hold everything, and we'll see what that's about. And Thompson is retreating. So things go from bad to worse for the Bulldogs. I've known you for almost 20 years. I've never seen you speechless before. That touchdown got you.
The whole thing, the whole scenario, Thompson again with no timeouts. They march right down the field and get the big play when they need it, despite the fact that we thought the referee running the clock was going to hurt. It didn't. Taylor's been unbelievable tonight, over 400 yards total offense, or over 350. And then, of course, Burke County just battling back after they were torched last week by Baldwin. What a battle back. And they're going to throw it to Taylor.
Taylor's just going to heave, and it'll be picked off. And Burke County is going to win it. Devin Wilson. Clock says 0-0. Let the celebration begin in Waynesboro.
Yeah. Yeah. Curry just comes in and tries to heave it up. And nice play by Wilson. Wow, what a catch. This, I mean, you hate to see anybody lose this one. I know that's cliche, but, man, it's never been more true than tonight, John.
What a ball game. What a night in this historic stadium, the Brickyard, that has seen so many great nights and great moments. Add this one as the latest chapter. And
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I started doing games in 1995. I'll date myself. I don't know that I've seen a better one than that. I've seen a lot of good ones, and it's easy to focus on the one that just happened. But I don't know how you beat that, John. I don't know what you do to top it.
I'm with you. I started doing football Friday night here in 2000, and I'd have to really go back and think about it. But
we've seen better teams. We've seen better recruits. We've seen all that. But as far as two teams just going back and forth, I don't know how it gets any better. I mean, wow, what a game.
Matt Lane is attempting to fish Eric Parker out of the celebration on the field as now the two teams shake hands. And again, as close as that was and as disappointed as Thompson is, as happy as Burke County is, A.B., you alluded to this earlier, a lot of respect between these two sides.
Yeah, no question about it. And I can't wait to hear Eric Parker. I don't know if he's going to have a voice left. It's a little bit of a chilly night in that game. Oh, man, what a contest. And, for Thompson, what an amazing game for Demekus Taylor. I mean, he was special throughout, obviously had the penalty at the end, but they're not even in the game, not even close without him out there. He played great. There were some other good performances. Fanning on defense was really good, and Bubba Murray with a couple of nice catches. But in the end, Burke County's able to battle back and get it done.
Well, here's the man of the hour. We'll send it back down to Matt Lane for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with a victorious head coach, Eric Parker.
That's right, John. Coach Parker, just another Burke County Thompson game, wasn't it?
Wow, I think we probably got away with one, but you know what? We're going to take it. They had a great game plan. They got after us, and, look, our kids just kept fighting. That's an example of what we always talk about. We never gave up, got a couple of breaks, and took advantage of it.
Late in the fourth quarter, is it something you just feel like your players just are accustomed to, even though you're down and it really feels like you're sort of out of it, no momentum, even though you spent all your momentum in the first half, but y'all just find a way?
Well, in the past, I would say, yeah, but you always worry. We have a lot of youngsters playing for the first time, and, when you get in an atmosphere like this, it doesn't really matter about much except that present time. And, I didn't know if our kids could rise to the moment or not, but, they just kept taking advantage of the opportunities that was given to them. So, like I say, we might have gotten away with one here tonight, but we're going to take it.
Congrats on a great win, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you, John.
All right, congratulations to Coach Eric Parker. Congratulations to the Burke County Bears. Congratulations to the city of Waynesboro and anybody who's ever driven through Waynesboro. That was a fantastic finish.
Yeah,
wow.
So many great performances, and I want to credit the coaches. I thought both coaches were amazing tonight, making adjustments, cut the game plans they had. Again, Parker not afraid to throw anybody out there. I thought this was as well a coach game as you're going to see, and I talk about those great individual performances. Tonight was just a collective thing. I mean, both these teams did everything they could to put on a show for the fans, and they certainly did.
And we're not done yet. We still have our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game to go. We will name them and put the finishing touches on a memorable night at the Brickyard. Next, as the postgame show continues on Game Night Live.
And we're joined on the field for our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Some really good ones. Just another classic Burke County Thompson game right here in the Brickyard. Burke County actually emerging as the winner in this one, and another terrific matchup. Got our buddy David Cravens from McDonald's going to hand out some awards on offense. Got to give it to Wanye Dove. Terrific all around on the offensive side of the ball. Every time the Bears needed to play, he was there to make it. So Wanye Dove, our offensive player of the game. And on defense, number 21, Damian Williams, all over the field, playing terrific. for the Bears as they look like you guys were out of it, but can you just talk about it? Almost feels like you guys sort of know you still are in it, even though it looked like Thompson really had it.
Yes, sir. We just had to come back from last week's game against Baldwin. I mean, like in the first half, our guys felt like they was down, so they just dropped their heads. And I mean, as a quarterback, as a leader of my team, I gotta, keep their heads in the game. So I mean, I really appreciate it and everything. Thank you.
Yeah, and Damien really playing well, like Doug was talking about, coming off that loss. For the defense, how are you guys going to build on this after this week?
Well, we just going to add it on to what we was doing last week. Things were going good at first, but then it went down. Our guys dropped ahead, so Coach's main thing was to play like we took a loss last week, stay focused, and our guys did that. They was able to do that, to pull together, stay strong.
Well, like we said, another great Burke County Thompson game. There's a reason we always circle this one each and every year. For our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, back to you, John.
All right, Matt Lane, congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to the Bears, who are celebrating with their fans and their band. There you see them on the other side of this field. AB, how do you put a caption on just an amazing night at the Brickyard?
Well, it was, more than we anticipated. I mean, this was not...
And we had high expectations.
We had high expectations always for this matchup, but, and very rarely... When you hype something up, does it live up to it? This one did that, and then some, and then some, and then some. I posted a couple of social media updates, and on one of them, I just put really big, "What a game!" And that is absolutely true. I mean, it was special. You had everything. You had big plays offense, big plays defense, the coaching, the fans getting into it. I mean, it was just a great night. You hate to see somebody lose, but credit Burke County. Again, they got the ball with less than a minute to go and had to go down the field and score, and they did exactly that. So in the end, you got to give them credit for getting it done when they needed to.
So Burke County officially clinches at least one home playoff game at the Bear Den 2 weeks from tonight. Thompson will now have to move on, and they will face ARC down in Walton Way a week from tonight. And the Bulldogs and Musketeers will be jockeying for the 3rd and 4th seed in this region. So that's the situation at the Brickyard. Again, Burke County fans, if you want to relive this night, you can watch the encore presentation of WJBF Sports Game Night Live coming up this Sunday, 12:30 p.m. over on News Channel 6. Also, with so many huge finishes and so many games with postseason implications tonight and this one, if you want to watch the highlights again, we'll have the recap for you. At Football Friday night, Brendan Robertson, Zach Hughes back at Television Park, getting ready for 30 minutes of high school football coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. 1 week from tonight, we will be at Lucy Laney Stadium for the annual Richmond County rivalry between Laney and Josie. That will be the regular season finale of Game Night Live for 2018. But tonight belongs to the Burke County Bears. Your final score, Burke County 30, Thompson 28. We will see you next week from Lucy Laney Stadium. For now, good night from Thompson.